We're just normal men.
What do you mean, normal men?
We're just innocent men.
It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stutter and Craig. No, you don't get the 96-ounce Coke Zeros, Blabs.
Yo, my androids, what's up?
And straight from the hood, Phoenix.
It's really enjoyable as an adult male to shit your pants.
And now, broadcasting from our homes around the internet, it's time for Side Scrollers. On YouTube.com and Rumble.com, and most importantly, Side Scrollers Plus. So, boy, here we are, .com. Good to see everybody. How are you? Did you have a good weekend? Well, did you? Did you have a good weekend? Tell me! Okay. Glad you're with us today. Busy day. Packed run sheet. So much to talk about. And with a couple great guests indeed. Starting, as always, with Guamanian Princess Blabs. Hello.
Oh,
Blabs.
hi.
Oh, hi there.
Oh, hi there. Didn't see you there. How's it going?
Oh, that's that's my least favorite thing in the world. Like,
What?
that's my, in any video that
when they're just
online
like,
where they go,
You must have loved the Rings of Power entrance then. That intro they did where they all turn around to the camera like it's some 70s show. Have you seen that?
yeah, you know
Not
what I
that
wanted to do
70s
with,
show, but like something from the 70s.
anytime I see that, you want to know what I do, Blabs? I slowly pull my 9mm out, brandish it a little slowly, just kind of think about turning it right to my mouth and just letting it go.
Like the Donald Duck tin over there then?
No, you don't get that. No.
Damn.
No. That's
tried.
actually I think what I was going to do was I was just going to put a hole right through it, just so you couldn't get it.
That's just dick move.
But put it behind me. Just
It helps the splatter.
My God! All right, so if you love suicide talk, you're in the right spot. Phoenix over there, he's like, "Yeah, let's go!" in the background. I love it. Well, someone who definitely was thinking about the rope today, but had said, "Hey, I'm going to be on Side Scrollers today," decided to put it down and just give it another day. It's Mitsu. Hello, Mitsu.
Kurt Cobain. Wait, what are we doing?
No, Kurt Cobain, he had the itchy trigger toe, right? That was the whole idea.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Courtney Love for a second there. I thought we were talking about famous celebrity, allegedly.
Yes, allegedly. Yes. Do you think that Kurt Cobain killed himself, or was it a hit job by his psycho
Wife.
Ooh, man.
It's allegedly.
I love a good conspiracy theory. It's the best. It's so good. And I kind of feel like I just want to one day just go live and just watch a bunch of those conspiracy theory videos. Like, you know, they're like 3 hours long, and you just sit there and you're just like, yeah, and then what? Yeah, and Courtney Love did what? And she paid who? What? Yeah. I love that stuff. It's so good.
The fact that they named their kid Bean, like Francis Bean. What a name. Bean. Yeah. Francis Bean. Cobain. That's the kid's name. Francis Bean. Like a jelly bean. Her middle name is literally Bean.
Like Papa Bean?
Yeah, B-E-A-N. That's the daughter's middle name.
Yeah, did Francis Bean also take a shotgun to the mouth as well, or what?
Still alive.
Oh, okay. Because if I had my name Francis Bean, I'd probably think about it too. Joining us today.
Lord.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, like what a terrible name, man. Bean.
Curious if our resident racist Kay knows anything about the conspiracy theory of Courtney Love versus Kurt Cobain.
You know, I haven't really invested enough time in that, and I too want to sit and watch a documentary now, but I totally believe it was her. I'm 100% on that page. Also, when you did Mitsu's intro, I thought you were talking about me, and I was about to pull the rope out and do it live, but...
Joining us now...
Our next act of Suicide Scrollers.
Putting the noose down slowly around her neck for your enjoyment, it's Kay.
Hello. I put it down.
She came back with a different accent. That's awesome.
I did,
Wow.
Exactly. There you go. I had to revert back to my roots. That's all.
Oh, that's excellent. Well, someone who I'm positive definitely has a noose and just is waiting for the day to, just constantly staring at it every day. Is like, is today the day?
Have you been watching it?
I don't know. Let's find out. It's Phoenix.
Oh, hello there. I didn't see you come in. I was just staring at my ornament up there. It's a beautiful noose. Yeah. How's everyone doing?
Sorry. That's how we're doing. That's how we're doing.
Apparently, we're being hosted by R. Bud Dwyer today.
That's a reference that Phoenix gets, and I don't. Who's R. Bud Dwyer?
Oh, that's a rough one.
Yeah.
Care to share?
If I recall correctly, he was a man who thought that they were blanks, but they weren't blanks. We'll put it that way.
Let's put it that way. Yeah.
R. Bud Dwyer was an American politician who served as the 70th Treasurer of Pennsylvania from 1981 to 1987 until his suicide.
Yeah, live on video. You may not want to watch that one.
Oh.
Yeah. He puts a gun. He takes a little gun out of a little paper bag, and he goes, "Now, guys, everyone, calm down. Everything's going to be okay now." And then he, boop,
He went.
and he goes down, and then a lot of blood comes out of his nose and mouth and a lot of other stuff.
That's rough. That's
What
not enough time
motivates
for me
a man
to
to do this? Like this is
not
insane.
enough time for me to finish, but just enough. Almost.
Almost. Hey,
Almost
speaking
so
of
close.
finishing, speaking of being like really dark things that I don't know. We're gonna do our best to have him on. Remember Mike Klum, Blabs, the guy who did the Boogie documentary?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Did you see he dropped his newest documentary last night?
No.
I'll tell you this right now. It is insane. It is 94 minutes of hair-pulling, eye-covering sadness. It's about this guy, EDP, who is during the documentary, I have my notes here because I watched it last night because when we have Mike on, I want to talk about this. During the documentary, he admits to 16 crimes, most of them having to do with underage girls. And it is so messed up. I mean, I got a full page of notes after watching this thing, and so many people are incriminated in this 94 minutes. It is a fascinating watch. And we need to get Mike on. I reached out to him last night to see if we can get him on this week because the documentary had 40,000 people watching it last night on YouTube. Apparently it's getting throttled because it deals with some really dark stuff. And this guy, EDP, I didn't know a whole lot about this guy, but this dude is a freaking predator, and he is not afraid to let you know about it. And he doesn't think he's done anything wrong either. I think that's the thing. It's nuts. Anyways, I fully encourage, if you want to be scared that there are people out there like that, then I think you should watch the doc. But hopefully we'll
barely
have Mike
learned
on.
about him yesterday. I didn't know who he was either. And one clip that I saw was him saying that he wasn't there to groom a girl or whatever or go see her. He just wanted a cupcake.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
So stupid.
Yeah. People say, I saw the chat says, what does EDP mean? I didn't know what this meant until I saw the documentary. It means eat dat poo nanny, but not poo nanny. And he is in my notes, it says he's severely addicted to porn, way too honest, and likes to send poop pictures to people.
Is he the overweight black guy? I'm trying to get Okay, I think I know who he is.
Let me just say this about this doc. There's a guy they got to play EDP in it. I think it's his first acting role. Could you imagine if your first acting role is to play this overweight pedophile guy who's like it's unbelievable. I can't believe they hired this guy to do this.
Imagine that's on your IMDb.
Right.
I played
right.
overweight.
That's on your. That's awful.
Anyways, we'll have Mike on later this week, hopefully, to talk about it. It was a just crazy 94 minutes of hell. So, all right, what we are going to talk about, we have a big show today. There's a lot to talk about, and I'm glad you guys are with us today. If you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Join the 150,000 normal men who have found us over on YouTube, the over 52,000 who have found us over on Rumble, the over 4,000 who have found us over on Kick, and our buddies over on Twitch as well. You can find the show over on Spotify. And if you guys haven't yet, make sure you guys find us over on our brand new Side Scrollers Bits channel. It's like where we put all of our where we're putting our clips now, and it's it's been going okay, been pretty good over there. Exciting to see. We're doing some fun experimenting. So if you like to find clips of the show, that is where you're going to be able to find them over on the Side Scrollers Bits channel. Tonight or this week, we're going to be trying something. Now, probably next couple weeks or so, we're going to be trying something. I know a lot of you guys like to tune in the evening. But you don't get that live experience. So what we're going to do is we're going to be re-premiering the show from the morning show in the evening. So if you guys are tuning in the evening time, this is literally for you guys. It's going to re-premiere the exact same show for you guys. But, just like for you can have that live experience. Thought that'd be a fun little thing to try. We're going to give that a go, see how that works out. I know a lot of people are intrigued, and it'll be re-premiered so you can have the live chat and everything with it. Now, obviously, we won't be able to interact with you because we're not actually live, but the live experience is always is a fun thing.
I heard when you had mentioned this the other day, there was a few people that were confused. To be clear, this show right now will still be there, but you can then also watch because they thought it was going to go away. It's like, no. It's just this will be here. So if you only can watch during the afternoon hours, that's fine. But late at night, if you want to be a part of the crowd and everything like that, something that you may have missed during the day, you get to do that. So both will be here.
Correct. Yes, exactly. So. And that's kind of the idea. It's just extend it out a little bit, a re-premiere, syndicate it a little bit better, and let people know in the evening. So that'll probably be, I think, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. So, yeah, we appreciate everybody popping in and doing that and watching tonight. One other thing we have coming up, very excited for this. We are just 7 weeks away from Sin City. We're taking over Las Vegas. Looking forward to heading out there. Going to be a great time. Friday, September 25th, 7 p.m., People are very, very excited about this. If you haven't yet, here's a little bit about it. So you can see, great guest lineup. Very excited for this. Sin City happening just a few weeks away.
46 days.
46 days. Holy crap.
Yeah, I Googled. Tomorrow will be 45.
Ooh, okay. So yes, very much looking forward to heading to Vegas. We're going to get all of our travel scored away here in the next couple of weeks, and we're putting together a great show for you guys. If you guys haven't yet, get tickets down in the description below. Very much looking forward to heading to Vegas and seeing everybody there. It's going to be a great time. All right. We have a Montez goal today. It's 50 supers of any size. Doesn't matter. We're just going to see how that goes. Always fun to have Montez goal on a Monday, but we're glad you guys are with us. But most importantly, we'd love if you guys joined us in Vegas if you're going to do anything, which is good. Speaking of Montez goals, Young Stove came in with the 2 early. Says, Blabs, how you spelling balcony again? Also, free Asmon. Yes, Blabs. Over the weekend, I don't know if you saw this. My face was still swollen.
I commented saying sadness. I put those sad emotes in there. Yeah.
Yes. Kate, do you remember
one of the funniest things of all time?
Yes. Kate, did you know that over the weekend, I did not plan on doing this, but my face was still swollen from my mouth surgery over the couple days ago, so I couldn't record any videos. But over the weekend, we showed the Blabs Spelling Bee back from the
Queen of the Wii.
That feels like a lifetime ago. That was
It was December.
Oh,
it's almost in 4 months. It'll be a year ago.
Yep.
Wow.
But do you remember how that went?
I do remember how that went.
Shut up.
Yeah, it was great. Good times. If you guys haven't yet, I encourage you to go watch it. One of our special events built into the pre-show of Queen of the Wii, which was really, really fun. I encourage you guys to go watch it.
What's so funny? What's the one in the middle laughing about?
I just remember the long story about how great we were at spelling bees and all
the trauma of it all. Yeah.
And then shit the bed. Just got in the ring and slipped on a peel. Just right down.
Yep.
Would you guys like to relive this real quick?
No.
I sure would, Craig.
I don't know
You're all
what
a
this is
bunch
in
of
reference
bullies.
to. Let's see.
So Blabs, just a quick background. Blabs failed her spelling bee in 5th grade. So we wanted to give her an opportunity to redeem herself.
Yeah, by Craig giving these other ladies simple words like bus and
at the
dog
very end
and cat.
Bus is not
the
a
very
simple
end.
word. How do you spell that?
BUS.
Okay.
I thought
Well, this is what happened.
Redemption.
Way to go, Blabs. So we gave Blabs the opportunity to be redeemed, and this is exactly what happened.
Yeah, give me that.
Absolutely. So this is what we're going to do. I will give you the name. I will give you the word. You then go up, and I want you to stand in front of that right there, in front of there. I will hand you the microphone.
Okay.
You say the word, and then you spell the word.
Got it.
Okay? All right, Blabs, are you ready?
Yeah. Where am I going though? Right?
Yeah, you're going to go stand right in front of your things over there.
Okay.
Okay? All right, Blabs, your word. Your first word.
Wait, am I staring that way or that way?
Just right there.
There's literally a
Right
million
there.
things.
Yes, there's 3 cameras. Your first word, Blabs, in our 5th grade Blabs spelling test is balcony.
Oh, okay, that's so easy.
No, take it. Go stand up.
Okay, anyway, can I stand right here?
Perfect.
You should have checked the closed captions for him.
Balcony.
What?
Oh,
Wrong! She's out! She's out! What a dummy! She's done! She got out of the first word!
It's okay, it happens. We all get anxiety sometimes.
I panicked.
You sure did.
I sure did, bro. I was all the pressure. You know me. You can't give me a microphone in front of people. I just go, huh?
That was adorable. I'm glad we relived that.
Thanks.
Not real tournament.
It was crazy. So you can go watch the entire spelling bee. It's great times. And you can spell along with her in the chat or in the comments.
Spell
section.
these nuts.
BLABS, Blabs.
Bitch.
There you go. All right, hey, real quick before we move on and get into our first segment today, Mitsu, you had something you wanted to talk about for a second.
Oh, what are we referring to? What's going on behind me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, what is it? I just recently put out an article on Friday pertaining to my time in the Borderlands film. I know I've brought it up a few times.
Wait, you were in the Borderlands film?
I know, crazy, right? Fucking
What?
unbelievable. For all of a second and a half because I kept cutting shit out, which is absolutely insane. But yes, I wrote it because I was there for 2 weeks. It's not like it was a small thing for like, oh, I was just there. And we went out to Budapest and had a wonderful time. Lionsgate and 2K and Gearbox were actually wonderful hosts. And I just wanted to, talk about that for a minute. I think there's a picture probably chat would want to see of Randy as Crazy Earl on set, which never actually got used in the movie at all. And he had to endure it for I think he had to do makeup for 3 hours, including draining a bald cap, of all the sweat and everything as they were doing these shots. And they never wound up being used for it. So it was a wonderful time. Getting to meet all those people, getting to know Randy a little bit better. Obviously, he has the public relations things, and he and I have been at odds too. And he probably hasn't even read it because I think he blocked me about 6 or 7 months ago over something. Oh, because it was Borderlands 4, because I said Borderlands 4 looked too much like 3. And that really made me worried about the direction of the series and stuff like that.
You got to talk to Randy Pitchford? Did you ask about Medieval Times?
No,
Did you
I
ask
didn't.
about the USB? No!
Okay.
A lifetime opportunity to ask him about his magic tricks. Why?
I'm going to tell you about the most professional moment I ever had is we were doing the hosting launch party for Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And it was just Randy and myself on that stage, and I'm sitting on that couch, and he's in that big armchair. And he says, is there any one thing you want to ask me in the entire world? And boy, howdy, it took me everything to just be the most professional man ever and ask a very poignant and relevant question to what was going on. But I'm not going to lie and say it didn't cross my mind, because I remember when that launched and a lot of us had things to say about Randy back then where we couldn't believe that he managed to hang on and continue being a part of Gearbox in the way that he was going forwards after that, because that was not a good time either. And but I asked him about a bunch of other things that I thought were fun too, because he also worked on Half-Life and he worked on Opposing Force, which is an amazing expansion for Half-Life. So of course, me being the ultimate fanboy for all of that shit, I had to ask him about all that crap too.
Well, I'm sure we can get a little more information about that in your article.
Yeah.
So
I wrote about all that and more.
Make sure you put that in the put that in the private chat so Blabs can put it in the description for you. Okay.
Sure, absolutely.
Cool. Love that. Love to hear the behind the scenes. Last Effect came in with 5. Says Super Troopers 3 was great. Meow. K, your people and culture is in it. I know who had a great weekend. The quartering, drunken tweets, and deleting again. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So the quartering is one of those things that I know Blabs has no interest in talking about it.
Zero.
Right. So I did mention this really quick. With school getting back in session, I think next week I may start extending the show out after we finish our 2 hours-ish here on the show. And I may continue over on Kick to talk about some of the things that they don't necessarily hit our show. So just a heads up. You may want to be following over on Kick when you do that stuff. So Professor Plague That says Kirsha watched the EDP documentary on her stream yesterday. It was absolutely wild. Yeah, man. I'm glad she watched it because it was... Hyena First says, get Y-Files on the show. Some great conspiracy theory videos. Another good one would be Fat Electrician, Hannibal Line Crosser, and Stack from History of Everything podcast. I would love to get Y-Files on the show. Y-Files is an amazing series. If you guys haven't seen that, it's great. Gold Soul Ninja with $50 freaking dollars says, hey, gang. Had a lot to do the past days, plus supporting a Legends returning to the YouTube streaming again. Caught all the VODs. Turns out, didn't miss much. It's just chaos and no common sense. Goldson Ninja, who came back to streaming? Let us know. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for your ridiculous support. That is awesome. I'm going to get you on the wall. Wall's looking a little bare. Need to get the wall filled back up again. Wastelander says, hey, Blabs, spell your name. Happy birthday, Phoenix.
Thank you.
So happy.
What a happy boy.
Yeah.
MVP Cost came in with 20,000 Indonesian money. Says, Blab, if you're still searched, new guest, try Nanny VTuber.
I do like that his name's Nanny. Nanny! What?
Nanny? We have Megs, Cat, Melee K, Bus, Blabs.
Yeah.
Anti-establishmentarianism.
Seriously, 5th grade words here. Bus, cat.
What?
Yeah.
You couldn't spell anti-disestablishmentarianism in 5th grade, Blabs?
I think I actually did spell that one right on the spelling bee. I'm pretty sure. But like, what the hell, man? Bus, cat, and then this word, like, skewed.
That's fun. And give it up for Rex. J-Rex, thank you so much for giving a brand new member over on the YouTubes. All right. Before we get into hard news today, I think it's important that we take a little step back in time. Friends, it's time for Today in Yesterday.
Today in Yesterday.
Presenting the debut of Star Fox in 1993. I'd never seen this before, but I thought, man, this was pretty dang cool.
And Nintendo is banking on a new superhero. Today, Nintendo shipped out more than 1 million cartridges of its newest video game called Star Fox, designed to give the player the feeling of piloting a supersonic speed aircraft with three-dimensional graphics and blazing game speed. The cost $59.95. Nintendo locked in a fierce battle with Sega on the video game field. And analysts say Sega got the upper hand 2 years ago by offering more complex and realistic game action. So, battle goes on, John.
You have kids. You ever get hooked on one of those games?
I don't play it. They're great at it. I mean, they're zipping away at it. And in
love to see these old things.
Let's go, Sega console war. I'm a Sega simp forever, so just hearing that, like mainstream news of being like, Sega won, let's go. That's all I needed.
So, well, they got the upper hand there, Kay, by offering faster gameplay and more complex gameplay, whatever it was, right?
In my heart,
Phoenix, when you see... Oh, yeah. You're the one holding on?
Yes.
Phoenix, when you see that stuff, how does that make you feel?
I remember my dad coming back home because that was literally how he introduced himself again. With Star Fox, so it's a good
really?
memory. Yeah. No, I was blown away by Star Fox. For those who weren't around that time, this was otherworldly to be seeing that our 16-bit console could have a semi 3D look. And yes, the frame rate's a little shitty and stuff, but we didn't care because it was just absolutely amazing. The music was fantastic, and it was actually a good game. It went beyond a gimmick. It actually did have some really, really good gameplay. I will derail for one quick second if you'll let me.
Yes.
I was just over the weekend at a retro gaming convention, and I actually saw Walter Day there. One of the most amazing things that I saw there was you had a lot of adults there that were really there, because it was a retro gaming event, that were probably there more so for themselves. But one of the most amazing things that I saw, and this is what sparked it, was I saw a bunch of kids playing Star Fox, blown away by that. But more importantly, I saw a bunch of kids saying how awesome it was to be playing games with their family members next to them, because they had a lot of like couch co-op things and stuff. They couldn't even process the idea of gameplay that wasn't online. And I heard over and over and over again the equivalency of, I wish we could do that now. From all different age groups, even like 15, 16-ish, I'd say, around that range. It was really encouraging and really a lot of fun to see that these old games still hold up, and that they had something that these kids don't unfortunately have today, which is sitting with one another and having that being able to shove each other, laugh with each other, as opposed to putting a microphone strapped to your face and talking online. It was a really, really encouraging to see.
So let me throw a ton of gasoline on what you just said.
Awesome.
My daughter is playing through, she plays through the new Zelda games, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. And she goes, Dad, do you want to watch me play Zelda? And I go, absolutely I do. And I don't do anything except just watch her play. And she's 14 years old. It's what she just likes to do in her spare time. She likes to go through and explore Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. She gets distracted. I got to go here. No, I'm going to go over here, whatever. But it's fun for her to have an audience. Fun for me to sit next to her and just be like, well, what do you think we should do? And even though it's single player game, we're in it together. And I
when
think
you said gas, and I thought you were going to burn it. Like you were going to say, like, actually, in my experience, okay, now I understand.
No. I mean, what you're saying is 100% true. And I'm curious to see if there's any other parents out there who have had the same experience, because there is something to just. There's another segment. I saw a video this weekend of people playing in the 90s. It was I think it was PlayStation 2, maybe it was early 2000s, where they were just sitting around the couch, and there was like 4 guys and their dad just sitting there playing PlayStation 2 together in a couch. It's like, yeah, that is gaming. That's a big part of gaming. And yes, online gaming is big. It's how people play games now, but there is something magical about just sitting there together. You don't need to say anything. It's just being there together. And then when something pops out, okay, cool. It's great. That's awesome to hear. Okay, Mitsu, do you got anything on that?
That's how you're supposed to play Grand Theft Auto, right? That's what I would do. Like we would hang out and just drive around in Grand Theft Auto, and then if you want, there's a song on the radio that we wanted to, just pull over real quick and we'll just listen to that real quick. Then you got something else going on in the background too. Maybe somebody's on their PC playing fucking Counter-Strike. You got 1.6 going on one thing. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. Everybody's just watching, having a good time, enjoying the environment that the game has actually created for everybody. And it doesn't have to always be multiplayer. It can be a single. Like Metal Gear Solid 2 was about the same time too. Metal Gear Solid 2 was a fucking movie experience for some people. So you could just sit there and watch your friend play that for hours. I think that's something that gaming is kind of lacking these days. It always has to be something to validate just the person who's playing and what's going on there, or no couch co-op whatsoever, which kind of destroyed the in-person experience, if you will, that gaming once had too.
Here's this video I found.
And the music.
Yeah. Yeah. But you see, it's just dudes sitting around playing some PlayStation, popping those discs in, having the best time of their life. This is it. That is like, this to me, this is video games right here. Just hanging out with your bros.
I'm going to break everyone's brain. I never went online gaming until 2020.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Were they just LAN parties before that? I mean, that's even better.
Yeah,
I never did LAN parties, but I always had people at my house either playing like the Wii or like on the PC, or I went to somebody else's place and played like PlayStation or whatever. It was never online until I started playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, like end of 2019, 2020. So I survived all this time on the couch co-op.
You know, quick side note, I did see in the chat that there was somebody who mentioned that the PlayStation 2 was the GOAT. Actually, no, we established that the PlayStation 2 is not the GOAT. As a matter of fact, it was the Nintendo 64, as referenced in our greatest console ever tournament. So,
I believe it was a Game Boy.
Yeah,
you're correct.
Game
You're
Boy
correct.
actually beat everything.
I apologize. You're right. But
Don't
yes, I think the
remind
N64
me.
did beat the PlayStation 2. So
As it should.
yeah.
There. Just
my
right there.
God,
The
I-
old master race. It even beat the PC, I will remind you.
Yep.
Yep, the
The Game
calculator
Boy.
versus the PC.
That is correct. Yes.
I know that went really well over with the crowd, Craig.
Yes. It went over excellently. That's
I
good.
was one of the people screaming the entire time. What are you doing? What do you mean? I love the N64. What do you mean it beat the PS2? What? How was the original
What?
Xbox on the... I'm going to go in an autistic
But,
rant. I can't
but
do
I
this.
could go play Command and Conquer on my N64. Don't you want to go play Command and Conquer?
My God.
You want to play Star Fox on the N64? You can play Star Fox 65. I know you love Star Fox.
I do love
You
Star
love Star
Fox.
Fox
I
so
do.
I was actually very confused that you're marking out for Sega over Star Fox in that advertisement, though.
I'm like such a Sega girl. Like my introduction to comic books was Maximum Carnage and X-Men 2 Clone Wars. Sonic 2 is my first video game ever. Like to me, the Genesis, like no matter what in the world happens, I will always have a special place for the Genesis over anything. You could talk about my favorite video game on earth and I would still simp over the Genesis first.
Just a quick side note. $59.99 in 1993. $138 today. So just heads up, like I always love the argument of like, you know, games are so expensive today. Like do you remember that conversation was really in depth about 3-4 months ago where people were talking about that. Now my buddy who runs a channel called My Retro Life got totally flamed online for just talking about how games are inexpensive today compared to, you know, in the 90s where games were $60 then, and you know the equivalent of $130 something today. You know, so, but yes, but you got the full game and you got to have it. I totally understand all that. But it's just always like a nice little interesting tidbit here. All right, we have dilly-dallied a lot, but there's a lot of super chats. Let me get these real quick. Robert Brooks says, narrator, Blabs did in fact not redeem. Blabs. No. Wastelander says console, PC Master Race, boy. Thanks, Wastelander. Sorry. Thanks, Phoenix. Speedy Cake says, 20 Australian money. Says, allegedly something Jer's coffee website redirects to Amazon while injecting a cookie into your browser that if you buy anything coffee related or not, he gets a commission out of it, undeclared anywhere on site. Yeah, those cookies. Yeah. I hear that. That's a thing that's done, and he was trying to be sneaky about it. But good old Big Jer's under a microscope right now, and can't really get away with any of that nonsense. He's trying to get the commission links. TJ Crisp with $200 freaking dollars. Give me that. Otter says, please quit using Rumble Studios to broadcast the show as they use lower bandwidth than YouTube. Your video quality looks way better in Friday in 1080p. Montez.
Okay, I'm going to dispute that one because when I host, it's all through Rumble Studio and it's on 1080p, so I think it's a Craig issue, not a Rumble Studio issue.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I'm not shitting on you, Craig. I'm just trying to say, like, this one time I'm not going to say Rumble Studios default there.
I don't know why. I do not know why. Well, here's the thing: we have to do Rumble Studio because we do our ad reads through them. Mm-hmm. So it's very important that we continue to do it. Well, I don't have a solution for that yet, and we understand that sucks, TJ. We're going to do our best to figure it out. And it's like, I'm going to be really honest with you. Rumble takes a while to get back to you on things, and that sucks. There's only like 3 people working on that stuff, so. You know, it's not this giant company like YouTube is where they have, like Rumble as a company has like 300 people working at it. Like YouTube has 300 engineers working on features for their chat.
Like a project.
Right. Silo Pool Podcast says, so the running joke that people who lived in Reno and Las Vegas were your spirit animals was a 70 deadbeat dad. Thank you, podcast right there. Marvelin says, what? Kids want attention from their family or to show interest in things they like? What? Clearly you're lying, Phoenix and Craig. The news told me the opposite.
Damn it. Been found out again. Damn it.
Blaz, will you get these while I get TJ on the wall, please?
Yeah, right. Okay, Don Kanji, member for 39 months, says, yeah, I agree with whatever you said. Thank you.
That's incredible.
Gold Soul Ninja for 10 says, YouTube don't like me saying the names in quotations, so I put in direct donuts. I'm assuming you got some direct donuts to read. Derek, for 1, says, what's your highest kill count in Star Fox 64? I managed to crack 2,000.
Oh.
I did 2001.
A Space Odyssey?
Always better, huh?
Just by 1.
And Puck Elder, for 1, says, speaking of suicide, keep K away from trains. And if you do a conspiracy talk, bring Kirsch and have her show you the videos on the giant trees.
It's like a genetic trait that all of us Indians need to run towards train tracks, like weapons style. We'll just run in the middle of the night.
Why?
I don't. That is a weird
Why
phenomenon
not?
when it comes to Indian folks.
It's this weird thing with Indians that they're like fascinated by huge things, and like you see them get crushed by elephants and other like things, and hit by trains.
No, they see
constantly.
things like a deer in headlights. They get just so shocked by and amazed by something so big, and then they die. Understand?
And Goldstone Ninja was talking about. He said, "You ever hear of Smooth McGroove? He came back just to the streaming scene a couple weeks ago. He streams bi-daily now. Pretty down to earth dude. Yeah, we had Smooth. I think I've known Smooth McGroove for a decade plus at this point. He started posting his stuff back on Screw Attack when I still owned that. So yeah, he literally got his career started on a website that I ran. CG Hero came in and says, you should make an old school GTA clone where he plays Emperor Phoenix and his rise to power as he administers justice to illegals and criminals. That would be epic. Now we're talking. There we go. All right. We got a lot to get to today. Let's get into it, friends. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for Hard News.
Hard News.
Okay. The big story on Friday was the banning of Asmongold for 2 weeks on Twitch after something that he said. Now, a little background. Kay, you did not hear about what Asmongold said or his banning. Is this correct?
I saw a headline say Asmongold banned on Twitch, and my brain went, everyone gets banned on Twitch every day and then comes back like a minute later. So that's the extent of what I know.
Well, this is a 2-week banning, and the premise is they were talking about borders. And specifically what was going on in Spain and the invasion that you saw. Have you seen the video of the people invading this portion of Spain, coming over on their boats? And it's like hundreds of military-age men who are just bum rushing the coast. Have you seen this at all?
No, I feel like I'm living under a video game rock right now. I've been gaming too much. I have no idea what's going on in politics.
It looks like a zombie, like a literal zombie horde of people. It's just chaos. Think of like World War Z. That's what it looked like.
It's not good.
Yeah,
not good.
Yeah. So let me see if I can find this video of Spain for you, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and that's what kind of spurred the entire thing. Here you go. Okay, this is what we saw, and this was what they were speaking about, where it's just,
oh my god.
It does look straight out of World War Z.
Yeah.
Where these dudes are just bum rushing. They're all coming in on their boats, and they're
trying to get in the streets, and then they start running everywhere. I don't know how real the video was, but if the video was real, you see people running in the streets. That someone stabs someone in the neck. Again, if it's real, but it was crazy.
It's quite literally an invasion.
You know why they're doing it, right?
The mayor?
Well, so the Spanish in their infinite wisdom elected a guy who's basically a communist, and the Spanish government thought it'd be a wonderful idea to institute new policy where no matter what, however you somehow get onto Spanish territory, you must be afforded the rights of due process before they will deport you. So everybody took that as open season to basically to make it to any Spanish territory they possibly could get their feet on, knowing that it would take forever for them through the Spanish system to be sent back. So because it's a little bit easier to obviously simply cross the water over on African territory from Morocco, that's literally what they decided to do as their first port of entry into Spain, and thought that they could all just go there and simply wait in those two little enclaves, if you will, until they were deported, which could have taken months to years after the fact that they made it. And by then they can use that as a launching point to get into Spain proper, which then would get them into the Schengen zone, which is why every other country freaked the fuck out and said, we're going to kick you out of the Schengen zone if you let this continue. It is a whole fucking mess.
Okay. So, Kay, what you need to know about that, with all that background, is that essentially what Asmongold said to get himself banned was these people are invading. Oftentimes, they will use children as shields. There's children coming in with them. In this instance, there's not. But what Asmongold said was, hey, if they're invading, you shoot them, children included. Because if you don't, they're going to continue to use these children as shields, as empathy. And he cites examples of, soldiers in, or I think we actually talked about this on Friday, soldiers in Vietnam, where children would go up to them and they would more or less, do bad things to soldiers. But, hey, it's like they're children, so he said this, and everyone's like, oh, Asmongold's a child killer, right? He wants to kill children, right? And that's where we got to him being banned for 2 weeks.
No, it's about hostile invaders. It's not specifically about children. And yeah, absolutely, that's always been a weapon of war, to use children as bait, whether it's through the media to emotionally play on our heartstrings to make us feel bad for migrants, or, in the way of actually physically having a child go up and distract a soldier. This is documented for decades at this point. So yeah, no, once again, it's a common sense take that, yeah, he's getting shit for. So,
well, he went in and he did a quick video about it. He had some health issues. He didn't even know he was banned, but he did a video on YouTube where he's like, oh, I didn't even know. But he did not apologize. Came out and said this. Oh, he said this.
I probably do dial it up a little bit too much, and maybe I could use different rhetoric, etc. But I want to let you know that I apologize for nothing. I meant exactly what I said, and I think that these borders should be defended with lethal force whenever it's being invaded by 40 to 60,000 people at the same time. That's an incredibly dangerous thing for all the people that live in that country, and I don't think that a government has an obligation to allow a bunch of invaders to pour over and potentially kill their own citizens. I find this to just be horrible, and ultimately it should be stopped. Also, there are a lot of other patterns, like I'll give another parallel to this as well, is that in a lot of gang culture, what they do, and this is, of course, nothing like this is a monolith, but many of people like this, what they do is they'll use children to commit crimes because they know the children will not be sentenced in the same way that an adult will do. And what my biggest argument for all of this is that I generally, and I know people might not believe this, I think most people do believe this, but the people that don't like me don't believe this, or they don't want to, is that I think that I really do have the most moral and ethical position on this. Because the moment that you create an incentive, you also drive a behavior.
It's a pretty base statement. The moment you create an incentive, you drive a behavior. And we've seen that in society in countless examples. Welfare, right? Or examples of incentivizing childless homes, right? You set a standard, then these people will ultimately abuse it. That's pretty much what he's saying right there. But he did what I feel like he needs to do, and not back down, and kind of expand his thoughts on there. Now, he says, maybe my rhetoric is a little extreme, but I think that people will take it to the extreme when it comes to anytime you have any sort of bend to the rules. Mitsu, you were talking about that a second ago. Like, this was people are going to be in this area, and as soon as that popped in, they were crossing the border or whatever to get in, right?
Yeah, they knew. The Moroccan government tried to say that there was false information that was being spread that caused all of these people to decide to swarm on the border like that. But it was always going to come. The Spanish literally changed their immigration rules to the new standard in, I think it was like July 17th. They passed this and the news came down of all of it. It took them 3.5 weeks for everybody to figure out this is open season and we can just try and cross the border however we need to. And they recently changed the way that you can cross the border into Gibraltar as well, to and from that area. So it's a very short swim all the way across, and then you're immediately granted access to the EU zone. A lot of EU states are going to have a big fucking problem with that, and very, very fucking soon. So that could cause a lot of issues for Europe in the near future.
You know, this seems like a pretty good little meme right here. Like, if you don't want your kids to get shot, then you don't take them to the place where they can get shot. Right? It seems like a pretty...
The factory, yes.
Right. Yes.
I love this meme.
The get shot factory right here, you know?
Oh, is that Nork?
It's good to it's good to see him.
New Jersey joke.
I was gonna say, don't know the Nork reference, but this seems like such a basic take, which naturally people have taken and they've gone and they go, well, you know, now he wants to kill babies. It's like, I'm sorry, what? Like, it seems like such a, people obviously going to talk about taking things to the extreme. That is what people have done with his statement. That's a perfect example of it. But Phoenix, do you feel like Asmongold not backing down here? You talk about never giving an inch. I feel like he's not really giving an inch here. He's just saying, look, maybe I could tone down my rhetoric a little bit, but I'm taking him there just because it needs to be said.
First of all, it's always fun when that side is arguing for the lives of babies that they voluntarily kill constantly. Yeah. But attaboy. That's exactly it. You never apologize ever. It's futile. First, it makes absolutely no sense. Your own base is not. By the way, when I say this, let me rewind. When I'm saying when you really are not sorry, obviously, right? So if you really aren't sorry because you don't think you did anything wrong, by apologizing, you fuck over your own base, and then you move the needle nothing as far as gaining momentum, as far as the debate that's out there. And you're also definitely not going to please the zombie horde. So it's a completely stupid thing to do. So attaboy, he understands what he's doing, and more power to him. I wish more people did that.
Well, this is, I think the one thing when it comes to Asmongold is he doesn't need to stream. Yeah, he's talking about, well, you know, I'm going to worry about my health, and maybe I'll just take a vacation, and then when I come back, I'll come back. And it's like, cool, you know, because his audience is still going to be there. But it's amazing to see people attack and once again take these things that he says, and people will hear these things on the surface and go, wow, that's really, really bad, and they'll use it to attack him for his, you know, immoral thought process or whatever that they deem immoral. Which, as he pointed out, Phoenix, like there's a lot of irony of these people who are like, yeah, don't kill the babies.
Yeah, and like wearing shirts about like proud, you know, killer of, you know, like 10 abortions or whatever. Like, yeah, right. No, this is ridiculous.
All right. Good on him for not apologizing.
Yeah, and I actually liked how he did it, because he goes, listen, he actually did, like, he heard a criticism and said, okay, you know, maybe I can deliver it a little differently. That said, I apologize. Perfect. Like, that's the best thing you can possibly do. I heard your thing. Okay, maybe I can course correct in a way. I can deliver it a little differently. But anyway, I don't apologize for the meat of it. That's perfect.
It also doesn't matter if he course corrects or not. It's like when you hear people talk about Trump, for example, right, with TDS, and they just constantly say things. And half the time my response was, I wish he was that cool. He's not. He is not doing these things that you like think that he does to this extreme. So it doesn't matter how like middle of the road you are, how much you try to appeal to people, to soften it, to try to deliver better. Like, they're always going to take the worst thing possible that they can correlate from it and attach it to you as a person. That's why I just always speak in extremes and I don't care. Like, I'm just like, I will say any word under the sun. I will say anything that makes someone mad, and usually 99% of the time I believe it. 1% of the time I'm joking. But it doesn't matter, because they're going to throw the deepest labels on you anyway. So there's no point in trying to like push those labels off. Just, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm racist, sexist, whatever. Who cares?
You know who, if y'all think that Asmongold would take it to the extreme, let me tell you somebody who would. God King Emperor Phoenix.
You guys are not ready. When you look at my like 10 stage like way of doing these things, like I was like, would my staff be nauseous around my plan? And they all are. And I'm like, okay, attaboy, you're doing God's work right now. That being me, the God King Emperor's work right there. That's it. Yeah. No one can stomach what I've got ready.
Leader of the Lost Souls over on Twitch says, as Powder says, and that have you seen the meme with Powder where it's like a music video where it's and have you guys seen that?
No, but I've been told by a lot of people that I need to talk to Powder, and that would get along very well. But I haven't seen any thing from her.
Well, let me show it to you real quick if I can find it. There's a wonderful. Oh, there it is. Powder with a U. That's always fun. But it's a fun little AI video where people talk about how bad people are. Oh, look, there's us. We're on a thumbnail. That's good. Sorry, I'm just trying to scroll through and find this.
Often,
really fast,
Craig, you are in if we're showing something on our stream, for example, and we're reacting to something, sometimes when we finish the video, we'll just see your super serious face at the end of it. It makes us die laughing on stream because we'll be yelling at the most extreme ever, and then we'll just see you at the end. So yes, you do show up quite a bit. It's funny.
Oh, nice. There's me.
It's good. It's good for you guys.
Thank you. Well, I'll see if I can find that later. I did see that video. It's pretty funny.
It usually looks like you're judging me for something I'm saying, which happens here too. So
pretty much every day.
It's like home, really.
It feels good. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Bursenary came in and says, breaking news, Ben Jones, the former Dukes of Hazzard's actor and politician, dies at 84, wife announces.
Oh,
bummer.
That's awful.
Nobody likes when people die. 84 is a good long life. But thank you very much, Mercenary, for the heads up on that. Commodore fan says, Mahong, if people think console gaming was expensive in the 90s, try being a PC kid and having to work all summer and then some to build a gaming PC for it to only be outdated not even a year later. Yep, Commodore fan. That's why consoles are the best.
Whoa, hold on.
Mongo the Hungry came in with 50 freaking dollars. Says, update. Girlfriend's cancer treatment has gone really well. Yes.
Let's go.
Oh, and then it was,
then you did this.
Oh, boy. I kind of prefer the cancer for myself at this point. Yikes. Wow.
Mongo, look at me in the eyes. Oh, sorry. He says, down to 2 hours per session, down from 8. And speaking of games, I found a bit of a gem that could prove interesting for some of the crew and viewers. Iron Nest on Steam. Give it a look. Iron Nest. Cool.
I'm very happy to hear about your girlfriend, by the way. Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Spectacular. And video games, am I right? Hey, Mongo.
Yep.
Give best wishes to your girl. That's spectacular. I'm going to get you on the wall. And I'm going to draw a little girl. No, I'm going to draw a little girl. That sounded weird, didn't it?
Clip it.
I'm going to draw a little girl on your thing.
And then next thing you know, hit pieces.
Conversation.
Craig draws little girls.
That's right. Mongo.
Your stripper pole thing should never be followed by, I'm going to draw a little girl.
It's so good.
There's Mongo with exclamation point right there. All right, Blaz, well, I put Mongo on the wall. How about you read these
just so
others
you know,
off?
I did timestamp that.
Slowly back
Our
away.
social media manager man. Timestamped for you is 53 minutes if you'd like to see the full thing with context. Jewish as fuck for 5 says Asmongold got banned for yet another vanilla basic bitch opinion. His position is the moderate one. You can't say on YouTube what my response would be.
Oh, I feel that too. I'm like, I'm not going to say it. It's not my channel, but yes. Absolutely.
Oh dear, wrong button. Okay, anyway, there's a lot more to it. Spain and Morocco have been fighting over that island since Morocco regained independence after World War II. Would not be surprised if Morocco signed off to get the island. Thank you very much. I was trying to insert this super chat from Mitsu right here, and I was hitting the wrong buttons. Okay, here you go, Mitsu. Emerald for 10. For Mitsu, the Spanish did the PM out of power before, but because of coinciding with a certain party as a workaround in Parliament, he ended up being voted back in. Dr. Steve Turley discussed this.
It wouldn't surprise me. I'll have to look into it a little bit more, but the guy is absolutely a crazy fucking radical leftist nut job. And his wife is going up on corruption charges too. So the entire thing is completely fucked. And I wouldn't be surprised if the Spanish people start making some serious appeals to their king and queen sooner rather than later to fix the issue.
Zuckler5 says, of course Phoenix got 2001 points. He's ultra best at games. You should hear what he does to all the ladies. He sexes every lady.
Tell us. Let's hear about it.
He sexes every lady. That's part of his song.
Ladies. Yeah.
Sex every lady. Professor Plaguebat for 10 says, it's only a clump of cells until it suddenly matters. Yeah.
It's whatever's convenient.
Yes. Commenter Fan forces the invasion of Spain is exactly why we here in the U.S. should never stop fighting for our 2A gun rights, and we're now in the long process to end the NFA. Let's go. And Grant for 10 says, I met Dean Cain at a Marty O'Donnell event in Vegas this weekend. Turns out he lives there now. Have you reached out to him to your Vegas event?
What?
Interesting.
What an interesting thought, Grant.
Willis.
What a really interesting thought. Sorry, just want to let you know it's happening here in about 6 weeks. Go tickets in the description. All right, let's go ahead and move on to talk about the insanity in the WNBA. My oh my! Now, Kay, you've been living under a rock. Do you know anything about what's going on? Do you have any idea what's going on here? At all?
I didn't know people watched women's basketball at all. Like, I'm just fascinated this is in the news. So
she's too busy chasing trains. That's what she's been doing.
That's
she's
true, yes. I went through 14 hours of torture, okay? Don't even get
All you had to do was follow the damn train, Kay.
So, Kay, let me give you a little background. There is a popular player in the WNBA named Sophie Cunningham. Okay, she happens to be a white girl.
Was this the one that pointed and went viral for that?
Yes.
She was like,
yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. And back in February, an ESPN reporter asked her about trans people and like women's sports, right? And she's like, and she gave the most common sense thing, saying, "I think women should play with women," and that portion of the interview was released like 3 weeks ago. So it's been months since that interview initially happened, okay? But now it's getting doled out, and it stirred up a bunch of controversy, okay? So all of a sudden, there was a domino effect. The next night, she's playing in Minnesota, and the coach has a Protect Trans Kids shirt on, right? And it's kind of like the WNBA is the wokest of all of the leagues, and it's all about justice and all this stuff. Well, fast forward to Friday, during our show, a former NBA player named Enes Kanter Freedom, who was actually kicked out of the league, not officially, but he played for a decade in the NBA, and then he went against the grain, and his cardinal sin was that, and I didn't do a good job explaining this the other day on Friday, but his cardinal sin was he spoke specifically about Nike and their child slave labor practices. And he specifically he did it against Michael Jordan when he owned part of the Charlotte Bobcats. And when he made this stance about child labor in Nike, somewhat like there are several players who are like, you're never going to get another contract after this. You're playing your last year. You're going to get out of here. And he's like, hey, it is what it is, And he apparently left between $40 and $50 million on the table for the rest of his, for being out of this. But he's a man of principle. So Enes Kanter, who has not played in the NBA in a half a decade, came out and announced that he was declaring for the WNBA draft. This is Enes Kanter. Here, okay. A 6'10", 250-pound son of a gun. This was him this morning, filing the paperwork.
Well, it's official. I just declared for the 2027 WNBA draft in April. Join me in this journey.
Enes Kanter Freedom decided he's going to throw his hat into the WNBA.
The WNBA does not ban men who identify as women right now from playing in the league.
We would dominate the WNBA without batting an eyelash.
The number one prospect in the history of the WNBA.
Let
That's
freedom
incredible.
play. Yes.
That's so good.
Now,
play their game. This is amazing.
Correct. So what happened actually as well is another former NBA player named Royce White, who was a star at Iowa State, got drafted very high by the Houston Rockets, had extreme anxiety over plane travel, and is now running for Senate, I believe, in Minnesota. Okay. He also declared to play for the WNBA. So there's two men who are like, hey, I'm in. Let's give it a go. What's funny here is that this lady just gives an absolute master class on what's wrong with the WNBA's stance. And I'm going to say this lady is definitely, I'm going to say she's probably lesbian, but here we go.
Prior 6'8" NBA star and current candidate for Senate out of Minnesota, Royce White, says he's joining the WNBA in 2027. He's following the lead of Enes Kanter, who was the first to say, hey, as a man, I'm going to play in the WNBA, but this all started when Sophie Cunningham, the WNBA star, said, hey, men shouldn't play in women's sports. Due to the uproar from those statements, Enes and Royce said, okay, cool. If the WNBA says that men can play in women's sports, we're going to beat them at their own game, and we're going to play. In one statement, Royce said, I think the WNBA could come out and make a definitive statement about guys with a pair of balls playing in the Women's Association. He said, I'm declaring this is serious. I don't want to be discriminated against. I want fair treatment. I'm a young black man and hopefully United States Senator, and I want a fair chance. Royce says that if they don't let him play, he's going to sue. Royce continues on X, and he just keeps getting funnier. He says, I haven't even been publicly trans for 72 hours, and I'm already getting so much hate. I just want to hoop with my girls in the feminine era. Why can't y'all be happy for me? Trans people are set ablaze over this, and they just cannot believe that a 6'8" man would suddenly decide to identify as a woman and try to play in women's sports. Yeah, no, actually. That is actually a thing that trans people are upset about. They're coming out with statements such as, well, this isn't fair. Men can't just decide that they're women. The WNBA is now faced with a choice. They either honor their own policies of DEI and inclusion and let the boys play, Royce and Enes, or they say, hey, we were wrong, boys can't actually play in women's sports. Trans people have hit the internet to say, what did we do to deserve this? We haven't hurt anyone. Well, you created this monster. You made this happen. You told us that we had to accept anyone and that if you say you're a boy, you're a boy. You told us that we had to let you play in women's sports. And now you're mad that we're doing the exact thing that you begged for. I hope that Royce does play to note the hypocrisy of it all. And if he doesn't get to play, I hope that he sues. I hope it goes all the way to the Supreme Court because we're going to make an excellent point here. Anyway, you can vote for Royce in the primary in Minnesota on August 11th.
So there you go. I live for donuts. Give her a follow.
That is wonderful. Let's play their game. Let's make it. Yeah, why not? Oh, now it's a problem. Men choosing to be women? No way. How could they do that?
Can you imagine if this happens, the number, like, for the first time I will be watching a WNBA game. I think the best part is that the ratings are going to be so high, it's going to be hard for them not to let it to continue until it's just basically all men playing again.
It'd be really funny if every single player got replaced with, like, a former NBA, like, male, and it just slowly trickles down until that it's just NBA 2.
So here is there actually is an NBA 2. There's something called the NBA G League, which was originally called the NBA D League for Development League. But now it's called the NBA G League because Gatorade is their sponsor. Okay,
it's pretty much NXT by the sounds of it.
Yeah,
right. Now here is the thing about this, and I saw this over the weekend, and I'm going to tell you this makes perfect sense. The average salary for an NBA G League player is $45,000 a year. The average salary for a WNBA player is now $500,000 a year. If you are a fringe G League player, doesn't it make sense for you to say, I think I'm feeling pretty feminine, and 10x your income immediately overnight?
It's going to be the transition league. Like, yeah, everyone should just transition from there. Why not?
The NBA T League is the transition league right there.
Yeah, exactly. Make your bed. That's hilarious.
Can I make an announcement that I, too, will be joining the WNBA league soon as well? I'm going to get my old shoes on, my old basketball shoes on, and hit the courts. I think we should do it. Why not?
I want it, like, similar to, like, the red carpet thing, you know? Like, I want you to go in there and just, like, yes, oh my God, girl.
Yeah, I'm ready. Put me in, coach.
It's amazing to see. And there are still people who are just so dug into this, like this woman right here, who I mean, how broken do you have to be? Listen to this.
The truth is trans women are women, and so if they would like to play women's sports, then that would be something that they should do as women.
A few former NBA first-round picks came out yesterday and declared for the WNBA draft. Are you supportive of them?
Yeah, so if they truly were trans, then I would be perhaps supportive of them, but they're not.
Who determines who's really a woman, though?
I would say I would love to see them
Always
play
that
against
look.
Asia Wilson and beat her.
Mhm.
I doubt they would.
Every
so thank you
time.
so much.
And look how she walks off because she knows he's beaten. This look right here, this look.
But they're not.
Who determines who's really a woman, though?
That one.
This one right here. I have no counter argument for your statement, and now I'm going to look at you with like I have no idea what you're talking about right
It's
here.
so interesting because that look is, come on, this is common sense. But then whenever we give the come on, this is common sense back to him, it's like, oh, no,
Right.
you're just a bigot. You're crazy. It's like you are giving the exact look we give you when you say protect trans youth and protect all trans women are women. Like it's the same look we're giving you.
Correct.
Well, I want to go one step further with them. Like, okay, like let them start getting authoritarian. Okay, then how do we do? Okay, you just go along with their point. Okay, how do we test for that? How do we test for someone that is truly trans? Is it a questionnaire? Is it science? Help me out here. They're
It's
not
a
gonna have any
midichlorian
answer.
test. That's how we have to see their level of midichlorians to know.
Exactly. So it's just like so I would just, instead of what that guy did, go with them, go on their little journey and walk us down how you solve this thing. And they're not going to have a solution. It's like, okay, well then can you understand until you come up with some testing system? And by the way, you want to test to see, you want to make a test now to see if someone's really a woman, which is very, very bad in your little team over there. But anyway, until you come up with some kind of system, then we have to therefore let these people come in, correct? I mean, because you don't have a solution, what do we do? That's what I'd love to see them answer. And you'll see those math numbers just coming into their faces as they're trying to compute that, you know what I mean? That little meme.
Well, that's what we just saw, yeah.
Yeah.
That face is the face where they know where the argument is about to end. Because as soon as they have to define what a woman is, that is where they lose, because the entire crux of the argument, and I've been, every now and again, I see through the algorithms, old videos of even Charlie Kirk getting asked this question too. What is a woman? And you can never, ever define it, because the second you define what a woman is, their entire argument will come crashing down every single time.
Well, it's funny you mention that, because the WNBA now is actually in the process of trying to figure out what an actual woman is. This is something that they are discussing internally, keeping in mind that this is the WNBA with women, and they actually are effectively, they nicknamed themselves the W, for the women, right? When they're talking about it on ESPN, they say the W. This is what's going on with them right now.
Who exactly is eligible to compete?
I'm just having a blast in my feminine era. I never thought that I was a woman. You know, I've always trusted the science, and I thought I was a man my entire life. But you know, after further review, I look strong.
After further review,
And there was a memo from the WNBA commissioner that was sent out to teams on Friday saying that a task force that's made up of groups, presidents and general managers, they're going to meet next week to discuss the issue, as there are growing questions about whether the league needs to clarify that eligibility and update it, Bill.
Okay, all right, Brooke, thanks. Brooke.
So they're actually getting people together to have an actual discussion about this in the WNBA. That is where we're at in society, where the Women's National Basketball Association has to get together a group of experts to have a discussion about what a woman is and how to determine eligibility of an actual woman.
I want so many men to start flooding them for recruitment and then sue if they're denied. Everyone sue. Just litigate constantly. Bring them down.
Yeah. And you know what's going to happen? The NBA, who's been literally funding this league for 30 years, they're going to say enough. They're going to go, we don't need this anymore. You know, we were all about bringing the women up, And here we are. You know, you have brought it all down with your insane ideology. And what's amazing about this is the WNBA has said they don't want to be used as political pawns. Where in the past, going back to 2020, they had their BLM, they had their names of people who had been shot on their T-shirts. They're the ones with the fist up. They literally are a political organization. And now, no, we're not going to do that now. No, not when you call us on our crap here. But it went even further. This is Sophie Cunningham over the weekend. They had a game against the Chicago Sky. This is the girl who initially said girls should play with girls. Did you see this play over the weekend? Anybody?
Yes. Basically, like puts the arm around her neck, I think, right?
Here it is. She goes up for a layup.
Face coming down, trying to prevent the layup, but that is just...
Are you serious?
She got whacked across the face.
Yeah.
Ended up bleeding. Got up, obviously heated. Got up in the girl's face. The girl who did this, her name was Dejana Carrington.
Just call her Mustard.
DiGiorno?
Yeah. It's just mustard.
After she clotheslines her, goes to the locker room, gets on social media, and Kay, I'm not kidding, tweets out white privilege.
Yeah, and that's exactly what a stick of shit with a blonde wig on would say. Like, we're enough.
Isn't she cultural appropriation because she's pretending that she's white or whatever because she's literally
yes, that's my point.
Blonde hair. It's so stupid.
You can't take my weave, but I can take your blonde hair, bitch. White privilege.
Oh, I thought she was just pretending to be a Gongoro girl.
See what I would do as God King Emperor. And this is like on a scale of 1 to 10. It's like a 0.00001 of what we could do. But like I would just like get my own team guy of the thuggiest guys you've ever. I mean thugs, right? And all they do is, as soon as they get on the field, they pile drive and deck every woman there. Every one of them. You put them out of commission, break their jaws, you name it. And then they go up, okay, we'll take our little penalty, we'll go off. And you just keep breaking these faces constantly. You don't ever try to win. You don't do any of this shit. You just see them cower in fear every time they get on that court of, oh, God, we're going to the ER for the next 6 months. That's what I would do, and it would be a lot of fun. Well, what do we think?
Maybe you should be part owner of the Nashville Balls, the new expansion team coming to the WNBA. This is not real, but this guy Clay Travis has offered to buy an expansion WNBA team called the Nashville Balls, and he wants to have an entire team made up of men as women, and he's like, it'll be a dynasty. We'll never lose a game, and he's probably right. In that instance,
it's like the Daily Wire's Lady Ballers now. It's basically just come to reality at this point.
It's Joanna Mann. That's exactly what it is. 100%. Now, what's interesting about this is that Sports Illustrated chimed in on this. And I'll tell you this was pretty interesting to see their headline. You saw Sophie Cunningham get clubbed across the face here. And this was the headline that Sports Illustrated first put out. Sophie Cunningham got a bitter taste of karma after drawing flagrant foul in Fever Sky. Now I'm going to tell you this right now. What do you think the writer of this looked like? Well, I'd like to introduce you to Kristen Wong.
Oh,
good Lord. Good Lord.
Hey,
yeah, they later. There you go, right? Another tweet from Clay Travis about this. And people, like, we talk about how bad the video game space is when it comes to just how broken. You would think that sports driven around testosterone, manliness, camaraderie would be a fairly masculine media. Totally incorrect. It is the most wimpy, beta, soy boys, never had a chance to make it journalists you'll ever see. This is from Clay Travis. This is from the new Direct Sports Editors of America statement on trans sports. Sports media is broken. This is what it is. They said, we are journalists. Words matter. Accuracy matters. Humanity matters. So let's be clear. Transgender boys are boys. Transgender men are men. Transgender girls are girls. Transgender women are women. Their lives are not a sidebar. Their stories are sports stories. This is coming from the Sports Editors of America. Here.
accuracy matters coming from journalists. It's rich. It's so rich.
Yeah. It's amazing to see. Now, this is such a non-issue, and it should not be something that we're talking about. Like, let's just be real. Everybody in society knows this. Everybody in society knows this. And if you don't think it, then you're fooling yourself. You're playing mental gymnastics. You're giving that look that girl gave, and then you're walking away, right? But Newsmax went out to Rucker Park in New York City to ask people about this. Now, you guys know Rucker Park is like the basketball mecca. This is this is like in the hood, right? Where everybody goes to play. This is the top pickup games in America. They went out to ask
that
people
guy.
about
Oh boy.
right. Let's see how this went.
Biological men to compete against the women. But here at Rucker Park in Harlem, common sense has home court advantage. Sophie Cunningham came out, she said she's protecting young girls. She doesn't want biological men competing in women's basketball and women's sports. Do you agree?
Yeah, I think women's sports for women's sports, men's sports for men's sports.
She's a role model that I would like to see. I wouldn't mind my daughter getting behind.
It would be physically unfair for women to compete against men.
Of course, it would be a problem to have somebody that was born
Is that Jay-Z on Ozempic?
right. But look, all these people, including Jay-Z on Ozempic, agree. This is such a stupid issue. But the fact that we're even at this point says so much. But I love that this is being pushed. And anytime, my favorite thing to watch is people who are like Enes Kanter and Royce White. What a bunch of idiots. They're just a bunch of men grifting. And then the immediate response is, you're so transphobic. Your transphobia is showing. And because you're just using their own words against them. And I'm very anxious to see this play out. This is going to be very interesting.
Well, I'm an accelerationist, so I can't wait.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think they have a path out of this? Like, what is there's got to be some kind of loophole they can push through, and the WNBA maybe gets out of this.
I got one.
What is it?
I thought about it. The thing that I would do, what I think they're going to try and do, I don't know how they do it legally. It's actually going to come down to a political affiliation. If you had like a record of quote unquote hate, like we don't have a place for that, right? It's almost like looking at a track record of what you've done in the past, and we've got posts about you putting down transgender or whatever the hell it is. To me, that's the only way they get around this, because you can't define a woman. If they do that, as Craig had mentioned, you upset your base. So you can't do that. So it's got to come down to some kind of politics somehow. That's the only answer I see.
So if you do that, if you say we don't allow hate, then you literally need to get rid of half of your league, because there's been that Dejana whatever lady. There's a video of her when she was out talking about white man this, white man that, and it's extremely racist. So if you're going to have that bar, okay, guess what? Half your league's out. Congratulations. And so if the bar is quote unquote hate, that's a very messy bar. I think what happens is they do something that the WTA, which is the Women's Tennis Association or World Tennis Association, does with their women's group. And they have a little test, which is less intrusive than the COVID test. They swab the mouth and they test for a gene, and the gene is tied to the women chromosomes. That's it. And if it says,
but if they do that, you think they're going to do that?
Well, I think that's the only way out. But yes, if they do that, you're right. That blows up their entire narrative.
Yeah.
But that's the only way that they can do it. But
I don't see them doing it. I don't think they're going to do that.
I think they're on their way out, man. I think they're on their way out. I really do. Like, I think this at a certain point, the NBA goes, we got enough, y'all. If anybody wants to buy the WNBA and whatever and rebrand it, okay, that's fine. But here's the thing: the WNBA, one of their franchises is worth $1 billion. Like the San Francisco franchise is worth $1 billion. These are high value things, and it's all built. The reason why WNBA has grown so much in the last couple of years has to do with one player, Caitlin Clark. She was the hot shot a few years ago. She's in her third year. Her by herself, She has Jordaned this league to relevancy, to where, the NBA was struggling in the 80s, drug problems and stuff. Michael Jordan comes in. He's the new young star. Indiana Fever games, the games that she plays in, double the ratings of every other game. And just by her, she has lifted the tide of the entire league just from her involvement. If she left the league and she started her own league with Sophie Cunningham and several other players, even if she didn't just start a league, if she went over to Europe, that whatever league she's in would be the most popular league in the world. She doesn't need the WNBA. The WNBA needs Caitlin Clark. And Sophie Cunningham has become popular not because she's, attractive, right? Not because she's Barbie, but because she's actually an enforcer in the league. She stood up for Caitlin Clark. That's how she has become more popular, because when Caitlin Clark's been bullied, Sophie Cunningham's been like, no, that ain't going to fly. That's where that meme came from initially, Kay. So that is why Sophie Cunningham has become so popular, is because she's been protecting Caitlin Clark and the bullies that have been attacking her, which brings up this entire racial dynamic, which people don't want to talk about, but it's very obvious that for anybody who's watching it. So, I've said this before, I've said it again. The most racist experience I ever had was when I was playing slam ball. I went to the hood to go play in Compton. I played in a YMCA or rec league, whatever it is down there. Played for 3 hours. I got called the worst things I've ever been called in my life. I got the shit kicked out of me for 3 hours by these black dudes who just didn't want to respect me because I was white. I left with scars, left with a bloody nose, left with bruises on my body, was called everything that I could possibly be called. And it was because I was white.
Isn't it interesting? You can't be racist towards white people, but you've literally experienced racism towards white people to a point of getting physically assaulted. And people will still look you in the eyes and say, oh, because of your privilege, that's not a thing. That's insane to me. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Yeah. It was a learning experience, It's one of those things that you walk in, you walk into the lion's den and you're going to get bit. That's the reality of it. So, you can be hopeful for something like that, but it is what it is. So, all right. So the WNBA is a mess, and I say it's not going to go anywhere. I say it's on its way out, but it's not. It's going to be around, and it's just a matter of if the NBA wants to continue to subsidize it, and still, they're on their way to making money, but it's been 30 freaking years, and they have this godsend, Caitlin Clark, that has lifted up their entire league, and I've never seen a league that wants to self-destruct more than that. So,
do you think this could be a cultural turning point? Like, I'll give you a quick example. Let's say they do exactly as you say, that they actually test to see if you are really a woman, and right now you're going to get a bunch of pitchforks, right, for trans rights, right, and if the WNBA ignores that, and you see how really insignificant this tiny little voice is when a corporation is standing their ground, they have to, and you see nothing really comes to that. Do you think culturally this could be a big change where people start saying, hey, you know what? It's time to ignore that voice. It's tiny, it doesn't do anything, and our ratings, everything goes through the roof when we just ignore them. Do you think that's possible, or do you think it's just going to continue as it's going to continue?
I think that this is an issue that is talked about across every mainstream outlet over the last couple days, right? It depends on the slant that you have. CNN will continue to call Enes Kanter and Royce White men, and Fox News will play up the idea of them being women, right? And say how brave they are, but I think it depends on how the WNBA responds 100%. If the WNBA...
I'm saying if they do it, if they test, right? That's this is like the setup of this question. They go, all right, well, you do have to test women. That's it. And it's a women's league, right? So who better to fight this fight now? It is women. It's not the white man. It's the women. So they say, no, you have the picketers, you get the pitchforks. They ignore it. Does that change culture? Because they are now showing we can ignore them and move on.
No, because I think what happens is it gives more ammunition to the crazy leftists in Portland, Seattle, and they say, you forced us to make this decision. We have to fight harder. And while, yes, this is common sense to 90% of America, 90% of the world, 99% of the world. This in certain markets in a league that is so driven by politics, I think it gives them more ammunition. And then all of a sudden you see, let's say that happens, more coaches are wearing their trans kids shirts and stuff like that, and it just becomes more of a cultural spark for these folks. And it's exhausting, but I'll tell you this, man, if they do not at least bring Enes Kanter and Royce White to a training camp to try out, like, you have a 6'10" person, women, man, anywhere in between. Hey, like, you need to bring them in. You give them a shot. I don't care if they're a man or woman. And to kind of further that even home, the WNBA in their guidelines says the league is for women, right? But it doesn't define what it is. Furthering this home even further, there was a lady who played for them several years ago who identified as non-binary. So in theory, if they allowed her to play with no checks, they should absolutely do the same with Enes Kanter and Royce White. They could simply, instead of being trans, they could just say, I'm non-binary. Because that lady already broke the rules of not being a lady or not being a woman. She was non-binary. So, and then, by the way, she was celebrated for this. So Enes Kanter, complete with crazy beard and mustache, and Royce White with his, crazy beard as well, they should be celebrated. They don't need to be trans. They need to be non-binary. There's already precedent set for this.
Right.
So, yeah, it's amazing.
Well, I will say,
man.
In conclusion, I am looking for great basketball stars for the Phoenix Bruisers. If you know someone that has a jail record that spans 30 pages, let me know.
If you got a rap sheet a quarter mile long, let's go.
Like a CVS receipt.
Love that. Love that. All right. Man, this is awesome. Let's see. We have some super chats to get to. Blaz, why don't we get to some of those before we move on to our next story and talk about Alanah Pearce?
Okie dokie. Skylar for 5 says, Craig, the music video is by the Holy Ball titled Yeah, and it's all the things they call us in one little music video.
Thank you.
West for 10 says, Chinese intel says Israel's behind the migrant flood because Spain wouldn't allow its ports to be used for weapon shipments. Okay.
Do you trust the Chinese?
Yeah, interesting, Wes. I'm like, what the fuck? Romer for 10 says, so by this logic, Craig and Phoenix are eligible contestants for Queen of the Wii and other female side stroller events.
I was really hoping one of you would have entered the ring as like a
that was literally discussed, by the way.
I almost snuck James on a plane. I'm like, he's got long hair. We could totally just,
He's feminine enough. Let's go. Not that. John Stewart for 5 says, Clan World 5 for Xenosaga. Nathan Cassidy, member for 6 months, says the real reason they are mad is they know this would bring in the highest ratings and revenue the entire history of the WNBA.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew says, I'm super trans.
Oh, good for you. Congratulations. You're so brave.
Thanks for coming out on our show, though. Look at that. Side Scholars exclusive. He came out as trans. Laguna Glad for 10 says, you guys are so close to figuring it out. It's not a test. It's experts that they install and get to decide how society works.
Thanks,
Sunburn says, welcome to Small Men. He became a new member. Thank you very much.
That's right.
And Hanifer says, that same look commies give you when you ask who determines what fair distribution of wealth and resources.
Mm-hmm.
Trust the experts. Thank you very much. Blippity. I love this so much. The WNBA will have to answer the questions the left refuses to. What is a woman? What does it mean to be trans? What's the difference between them? I can't wait. The Wastelander for 2 says, welcome to WMK. Mortal Kombat theme intensifies. Paul for 2 says, Tim Pool's reporting that the WNBA is holding an emergency meeting to declare what a woman is.
Yep. It's awesome.
Common fan
So
for
good.
2 says, Newsmax is a very conservative Trump-loving network, but man, a fair chunk of their male reporters look and sound like beta cucks, and the women look like old hag wine moms with money. Oh my. Mr. Big says the WNBA is such a joke, and they wonder why no one watches their games. And Joe says, look up 2 things Clay Travis believes in. Thank you very much.
Joe, you may want to help us on that. I mean, I'm sure he believes in a lot of things, so I could say he believes in good breakfast in the morning, or he believes in, whatever. There's a lot of things people believe in. So,
and the Phoenix Bruisers go hard.
Let's go. Thanks, Professor.
Sure do.
I need to see merch for that.
The Phoenix Bruisers?
Yeah, I really want to see what the merch and the branding looks like for Phoenix Bruisers. You can really go somewhere with that.
Like those iron knuckles. Just
yeah, you've got like it's got like the little chains right here and everything like that, and it's got a phoenix in the background, but it's actually referenced to Arizona.
Just Phoenix choke holding a woman.
Yeah.
Is it in a sleeper hold?
Yeah. It's like I only consider those with spousal abuse. Like I'm only considering those in my group.
Like the game doesn't end at the time. The game ends when the other team taps out.
When it takes too much time to clean up all the blood on the court, that's when it's time to just.
It's like
the Aztec played basketball. Like the Mayans with the old sacrifice.
Yeah. Welcome to the God King Emperor, my friend.
That's so freaking funny. All right, let's go and move on. I want to talk about this video about Alanah Pearce. Now, you guys remember Alanah Pearce? You guys remember who this lady is?
Tits McGee. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
She.
The one about disability in Elden Ring.
Oh yeah.
The
she's had many.
And
yeah.
She writes
she
for
said
everything. Apparently,
being a parent is a disability.
Yep. Parents are disability. Parents are being a parent is a disability. She worked for Rooster Teeth. She worked for IGN. She apparently wrote some of God of War or something.
I didn't realize she was Rooster Teeth. Did you encounter her in your time, like when you had the weird crossover?
Maybe. I don't recall having a whole lot of back and forth. I do know that she is Australian and she has gone through the proper way of getting her green card. And I guess she has dual citizenship now. But that's what matters here is that she wants to let you know that America sucks. And this is the theme of her latest video. She talks about, and this is just a quick, summarization from Pirate Nation. Says, Alanah Pearce says America sucks when it comes to job security, especially in the video game industry. In her latest video, she examines why the U.S. and Europe have seen huge gaming layoffs since 2022, while Japan has largely avoided similar cuts. Her main point is that it comes down to both law and culture. In the U.S., at-will employment makes it relatively easy for companies to lay people off. Japan has much stronger protections for permanent workers, making layoffs more difficult. Japanese companies also tend to value keeping experienced employees more. That matters in game development, where losing a veteran developer can mean losing years of knowledge and experience. Okay, so this is why America sucks. And it's a great little clickbaity title here. Eric July chimed in on this. He says, what I think Alanah misses in full context here, the obvious elephant in the room is the state of Western game development. It is a combination of bloat and underperforming games. There was never substantial layoffs were inevitable. Or yes, they was going to happen. Japanese and American work cultures are not identical. They are far more likely to work themselves to death in their output. Talking about Japan, whereas the American culture, especially in corporate spaces, do not have the same employee-employer relationship. They're going to finesse for finesse right here. Before I get to my big point on this, what are y'all's thoughts on Alanah Pearce saying America sucks?
She's very wrong and misses quite a few points, key points. What is it? Eric July saying that the industry is bloated is completely and totally true. You can't have what is it? It reminds me of the Bethesda folks going out and complaining the other day about wanting to save their jobs and everything like that. It's like, you guys were the problem. You can't continue to waste 10 years of everybody's time and all this money and produce no products of substantial value. Nobody cares about Fallout 76 anymore except for a very hardcore contingent. Nobody cared about Starfield. Nobody cares about these games. You need to get back to making what people are actually interested in playing from your companies. And until you do that, it's going to continue to be a corporate slaughter of all those people who were bloatware inserted into a system they had no business in being in the first place.
I've always looked at it like if you take a car, right? Like if you have an efficient car, if you remove one part from that car, the car should cease to operate as it was designed to operate. If you can remove 2,000 parts from the car and it's still moving pretty fine, that's called bloat. And like it's to argue for like, well, we should have rights to stay here even though we're inefficient and doing nothing for the company. I don't know what you're arguing for, and I actually kind of comes across a little pathetic to me that we should just do everything, that a company's job is to facilitate you getting paid even if it's not important or critical to the company's operations. I just never understood that point.
I want you to think about this for a second. Here's probably the biggest thing for me. And I got to thinking about this and I was like, how much does a Japanese video game developer make versus an American video game developer? And this was quite shocking to me. The average game developer salary in the United States is triple what a Japanese video game developer makes. $142,000 a year to $45,000 a year in Japan here. So the reality of the situation is that when a game company sells a million copies of a game, that means that money from a development standpoint goes 3 times further than it does in Japan, than it does in the West. And what you're not getting in Japan is you're not getting people feeding their ideology. You're getting people who are way more in tune with the company culture, that are invested in the company, its products, its culture. For the same cost, you get 3 people at the same cost of 1 person in the US who, let's be clear, will leave the second they are offered more money. The second they're offered more money. There's no loyalty when it comes to this stuff. So, and you know what? That's fine. That's fine. There's no problem. You know, it is what it is. Go get that money. But let's put it all into context here. It's a 3x difference of salary. And whenever you sell wherever you sell a game on Steam or Nintendo or Sony or whatever, all of a sudden that money goes a lot further in Japan than it is over here. And by the way, you may be asking yourself, what's like the housing market? What's the cost of living? It's very comparable, dollar to dollar in Japan than it is to the United States. I think the cost of a house is like 3x the salary right now. The average cost of a house is 3 to 5x the salary in the United States. In Japan, it's very similar. It's like 3 to 4x. So, you know, for those saying, well, it's cheaper to live here or there. No, it's about the same. So I think there's a lot of context that's missing here when it comes to her. Oh, well, it just sucks. It just sucks living in America. Well, I mean this with all due respect to her, as she generated her 6-figure salary working for Sony and Santa Monica Studios, whatever it was. Leave. You don't need to come back. Apparently she's in Australia. Stay, please, by all means. You may have got your green card. You may have your dual citizenship, but you don't need to come back. You can just stay over there in Australia and do your thing. I think most people will agree with you that. And if it sucks so bad, you can just hang out over there in Australia, do your thing, and start your own Australian game developers, group down there. Just so tired of hearing all these people complain about how bad America is when they truly have no idea how good it is over here.
That's the main thing about the conversation. There's a lot of nuance to that conversation. There's an overcorrection happening from COVID and, the overhiring. There's a problem with the industry that they're going so much towards that like PlayStation cinematic experience and investing so much in things that gamers don't really care about. There's the conversation about how they're injecting agendas. Like there's a lot of different pieces here on top of like smaller teams are more agile, and now you've got like 14 layers of management in between, and that makes it so you can't make swift enough decisions to produce something in a good amount of time. So the gaming industry as a whole is just going through a mess in all directions. But the thing that just annoys me about that is at the end of the day, her takeaway is America bad. And that's just like the easiest thing that she can do is just be like, I have an excuse to hate America. That's what I don't like. It's such a big conversation that it's hard to pinpoint to one specific issue, but to say that America is the problem because I hate America is just ridiculous.
I will say to this whole thing, though, I'm going to be that guy again. Unfortunately, I apologize to everyone in the chat. I don't know the full context of that. What she said. We have that they said America and then quote sucks, but I didn't see the direct quote, so I don't know what she actually said.
That's primary. That sums it up very well. Those bullet points here.
Okay.
So yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on real quick. But first, Marmalin says Phoenix out here trying to recreate the Philly Flyers of the '80s when they faced off against the Russians in the Olympics and they wanted to quit because the Flyers were so just brutal and flourishers. I'm for it.
Yes,
let's go, Marmalin. And Vlad came in, says sounds like communism. To each their own ability. Thank you, Vlad. Appreciate your support. All right, a little bit of breaking news here. This is very interesting. Stop Killing Games has made an announcement this morning. It's going to tie into something that I believe has been an ongoing conversation. I'm not going to play the breaking news sounder because it's very loud, but it looks like they're suing Sony. Check this out. Let's see what they had to say.
So what's going on? Sony has a monopoly on digital game sales on PlayStation. Your PlayStation is designed so you can only buy digital games through Sony's own store. And once Sony stops selling physical games in 2028, you won't have any choice at all. That's how Sony shuts out the competition, and you end up paying way more. On average, up to 47%. It's basically a Sony tax. And that's clearly against the law. Look, of course, Sony is allowed to make money, but it has to play fair. That's why we're taking legal action for fair game prices, without the Sony tax and with real alternatives to Sony's digital store. We're also demanding that Sony repay the money it unfairly made from Dutch gamers. And Dutch gamers can help by signing up on our website. Together, we can create a fair PlayStation.
Interesting. Going back to the digital, it sounds like it's just a Dutch thing as opposed to a United States thing. But, the quote-unquote Sony tax with them going digital and having any sort of monopoly here, which monopolies are not allowed. So
it's a very smart move because it went through my head when there was that controversy about the PlayStation Store, and I think they were saying like dynamic pricing was happening to people. I wasn't following that story as closely, but when all this was happening and then the whole no disc thing was happening, like pretty much I think people can target Sony as a monopoly at that point because they're removing any other way to purchase. And that might be the only way out of it. They might just say, look, we want our hands clean of this. Okay, fine, you get your discs back for that reason, but it is a pipe dream. So it's I don't know if it's going to work, but I think it is the closest thing to what could work beyond we're going to do a blackout in the middle of August and not actually do it during a big release for Sony, etc. So this is the best attempt they could have.
Well, this has been obviously a big point of conversation with them going all digital, but there's a big rumor over the weekend, and we've talked about how Microsoft has an opportunity to do something pretty interesting here. Apparently, according to Digital Foundry, Microsoft is planning to continue supporting physical discs as they move on to Helix, which is the code name of the next console. Sources have told that the company is planning to continue supporting discs and they're prioritizing backwards compatibility. That was the big rumor this past week, was that the Xbox, they're going to have this physical to digital push where you can play your pretty much everything back to the original Xbox on the new Helix. But there's all sorts of licensing things and everything that goes along with that. But this could be a good thing, obviously. And once again, it goes back to what you were saying, Phoenix. Just provide an option.
Let the market eventually erode physical. I'm not saying I want that, but just let it naturally happen. You just supply a means of being able to do it, and eventually you're going to get your old digital future. But at least provide that option. At the very least, provide your solid customer base that's built the library in supporting your company to be able to continue using those games. Microsoft at the moment appears to be, I know it's a lot of rumors, appears to be doing all the right things. Potentially even allowing you to potentially take your disc and make that digital is something that Sony is not doing. I've been saying this for a while. I actually think Xbox, this is just another reason to believe it. I think Xbox might have this one because look at it this way. If Helix is going to be a PC console hybrid, and you're getting a lot of people moving away from PlayStation now that you're saying, well, all right, if it's all digital, then fucking I might as well go to a far superior PC. Go to the PC. You're starting to build a library there now that when the console comes out, this Helix, You have a PC games that now will potentially play on Helix. You're able to build a library that will work on a console from day one. Again, this is all in theory. And then you're showing good graces with all the physical people out there who love that stuff, that they can get their next Resident Evil game with the real physical disc, and I can put that on my shelf. That would get me. You would absolutely get me to switch over to Xbox. So I'm rooting for them. I hope all of these rumors are true. I would love to see it. And wouldn't that be a great ending to this whole console thing? That at the end, Xbox totally redeems themselves. It's a great story. So I would love to see that happen.
Well, one thing that Xbox is also doing, apparently, just about 2 decades too late, is that they're getting a platinum trophy equivalent in their achievement system later this year. So congratulations. Wow. An achievement system is coming to Xbox. They finally listened. Way to go. I can only imagine the amount of time you're going to be playing on that, Mitsu. It's going to be great.
I couldn't even believe they waited till this long for them to actually have a platinum achievement system in Xbox. That's crazy.
Yay.
Wow.
I will be very intrigued. Italian somewhat Straw Hat in the chat says I would also switch to Xbox 100%. That's an interesting question. Blabs, will you run that poll? If Xbox goes digital, will you switch to Xbox? Would you make that jump?
Mean physical.
Curious. If it goes physical.
Physical.
What did I say?
You said digital.
Digital.
Yeah, if they go physical, if they have an option for physical, will you support Xbox? Will that make you more inclined?
Yes. For me, you didn't ask me, but I would just say real quick, because I really am the demo here. I'm the console guy, right? I don't do PC at all. So, for me, now primarily I got to tell you, the past few years have been all digital. But similar to the jab and stuff, I don't care what I do. I care about that other people also get their thing too, right? And I'm going to stand for the company that actually is listening to their consumer base and actually is trying to find some kind of compromise. That's someone I want to work with, not someone that puts their dick on the table and says, deal with it. No, you can go fuck yourself. So I would absolutely move away from PlayStation in a heartbeat and 100% support Xbox, even if it doesn't have necessarily all the games that maybe PlayStation has or whatever. For me, that ideological shift is going to happen. That's for me. And I think there's a lot of people who would feel the same way.
Well, I think Xbox needs whoever they can get at this point. Like I said, they haven't been relevant in a decade, 10, 15 years. So you come back and you say, hey, if 10% of the market is really into physical games, you want to get that, you want to corner that 10 to 15% of the market that really wants those physical games. So start there, work your way back, grow back with it, and say, and more than anything, make good games, make good exclusive games for your console. You have to have system sellers, and let's not forget the reason why. Go back 15 years. Why was one of the biggest things I think people totally overlook in the history of the last 2 decades of the console wars is Call of Duty. Call of Duty is synonymous right now with PlayStation. They weren't before. They were released first on Xbox and Xbox 360 in particular, and then a deal was signed with Activision and Sony. And when they made that jump, that is when things started to shift. Go back and look at it. I guarantee there was a pivotal shift when Call of Duty is a juggernaut. We've known that. It's been the juggernaut. I saw a note today that the re-release of the Call of Duty Black Ops, those dominated the sales charts this past month. Dominated. It's still a killer game, still a killer franchise. When they switched from Xbox to PlayStation initially, that was a multi-billion-dollar deal that changed the internet. Maybe we should go back and look at that data because I think there's definitely some truth to that. So, all right, I got another story here for Mitsu and Kay, which Kay literally perked up before the show hearing about this story. But friends, before we do, I am beyond excited to let you know that today's episode is brought to you, our friends over at Rumble Wallet. Are you ready to be excited? Here's a nice, wonderful ad read by me. You've heard us talk about Rumble Wallet extensively, and you know what? You're going to now because they have sponsored this episode of Side Scrollers. Here's the thing. On your screen right now, there is a QR code. I encourage you to get out your phone, scan that, and download the Rumble Wallet app. Now, you don't know a whole lot about Rumble Wallet. That's great. Let me just tell you this. This is what you need to know. It is step one of it being an alternative to like payment processors. Right now, you can do some amazing things. You want to support creators? Guess what? That's the first step of all this. Right now, if you want to support Side Scrollers or any other creator using Rumble Wallet, you give $1, we get $1. You give $1 over on YouTube, we get 70 cents. You sub over on Twitch, we get half of that. Not with Rumble Wallet, 100% comes to us. It's the best way to support independent creators like us over here on Rumble, which is great, and all independent creators. Once again, this is step one. Later on down the line, this is meant to be a payment processor solution where you're going on buying something. You can just scan your Rumble Wallet app. It's awesome. Listen, big things planned. Become an early adopter of it. Scan the QR code on your screen like we talked about, or go to wallet.rumble.com and check it out for yourself. You may like it, you may not, but you at least should give it a try. We are big fans of alternative tech, alternative options to different apps. This is a great place to start. We appreciate them. They support us. Consider supporting them. Thanks to Rumble Wallet for your continued support of Side Scrollers. It's important to let you know that this is a paid advertisement for Rumble Wallet. Rumble is compensating us for this ad. Void where prohibited. No purchase necessary. Offer available to U.S. residents only. Offer not available in New York State. Must be 18 plus. Offer is available the first limited time and for the first 500 wallet activated and funded. Once again, something I didn't mention, use that promo code Scrollers10 and get 10 free bucks to use with Rumble Wallet. Once again, they support us. Please consider supporting them. All righty. I am very excited for this story here because we have two Gamergate veterans with us here. I saw this tweet the other day, and I thought, my, oh my, we have Kay and Mitsu coming. We're going to start here because they're going to have so much to say. The Bethesda devs who have been laid off, everybody's seen the video of them protesting, and there's been a lot of pushback, and people are like, yeah, you should probably be fired. Yeah, it's probably, you probably didn't add a whole lot of value. Well, this started here. This person said, the nasty responses to Bethesda's devs unionizing for their livelihood on here is a prime example of how game developers are the most mistreated and dehumanized artists of any current medium by its audience. No wonder game devs rarely interact with the players. They've said, the gaming community may never recover from Gamergate. I feel.
Jesus Christ!
It's Gamergate's problem, right? We're the problem. It's not the fact that you released an article that said gamers are dead. They no longer need to be your audience. No, it's us. It's not you that shot the first shot. That's ridiculous. Oh my God. It's incredible. We still, to this day, it has been over a decade, and everything, whether it's Wikipedia, random tweets, anywhere, everything blames Gamergate, when literally the reaction was from journalists saying, gamers are dead, they are no longer your audience. That's where it came from. It is not about us hating you. You hated us first, and now you're surprised that there's backlash and that people are tired of you. That's exactly what happened. Oh my God.
God, we're going back 12 years now.
I love that you can just throw a match on the Gamergate fire and just explodes whenever Kay and Mitsu are on. But I'm not done yet. I'm not done. Oh. There's more here. Now, I want you to consider the source of this. We're going to get to the source here in just a second. This guy goes by Rusty Buckets. Okay, he says, gamers have been a euphemism for bigoted idiot for 20 years. And the gamers who find that offensive response was to become even more right-wing. But I promise being anti-union will not make video games feel how they did when you were 12 again. Anita Sarkeesian did nothing wrong.
Anita Sarkeesian admitted to not even being interested in video games to begin with. She did everything wrong. I don't think she's the only problem. She's the one that people point to. I actually point to Felicia Day first, more than her. But I'm not going to go into a Felicia Day rant because I've dealt with her all weekend. It's incredible. And, oh no, you became a right-wing bigot. Sure, yes, great. Actually, you know what? Gamergate did red pill a lot of people and get them into politics. I will give that. I will give that. There were a lot of people that they were just like, I just want to grill. I just want to play my video games. I don't care about what's going on in politics. Nothing. And they dragged all of us into it by saying white men bad for liking video games. You're bad because you like sexy women in video games. You dragged us into the politics. Absolutely, you radicalized a lot of people. That's on you. That's not on the people that are, it's victim blaming.
Mitsu?
Oh, boy. I can't believe
floor
we're
is yours,
having
my
to
dude.
deal with this. I can't believe we're having to fucking deal with this after 12 goddamn years. Anita Sarkeesian did nothing wrong. Anita Sarkeesian literally went in front of the UN with Zoe Quinn, and they peddled quite literally such a bullshit pamphlet that the UN had to go back, renege the entire thing, and apologize for ever having pushed it forth in the first place. And you tell me Anita Sarkeesian did nothing fucking wrong? Shut your fat fucking face. I am so goddamn sick of hearing how, oh, the developers feel mistreated and stuff like that. That's fine. If you want to say off of social media, I totally fucking get it. If Randy, because Randy Pitchford used to do this, he literally admitted it. If Randy wants to go out there and be the lightning rod and take all the criticism so all the good people at Gearbox don't have to deal with the bullshit that we peddle, fine. But guess what? At the end of the day, we're still the goddamn consumers. Ultimately, we're paying your paycheck. So if you are not putting forth a product that we want to play, that's on fucking you guys. And you're not going to be able to run interference as the games journalist industry anymore and have people listen to that slop. We're well past the point of Kane and Lynch. We're well past the point of the Dorito Pope. Anybody can go out there and find their favorite content creator to be able to get a real opinion on what is actually being put out there for us to consume and play as a result. You don't have to just accept what's coming your way. And we're sick of it. We've been sick of it for fucking ever. So stop trying to blame us for the mistakes that you made in your development phases, in your production phases, that we just don't care about, and we're not going to pay for it anymore. We're done. We're fucking done.
Okay, Mitsu, you and I have witnessed the pot boil. I remember when all of these articles first came out, and there were a lot of people that were a lot more like in the middle, and they were just like, hey, please don't hate us. Like, why do you... Yes, this, exactly. Gamers don't have to be your audience. Gamers are over. This was a weekend I will never forget in my life. And it's just... the pot boiled slowly, and now we are at a point where they're saying, oh, the gamer audience is so toxic, they hate us, and blah, blah. You know what? I will say that people are more intense towards the gaming industry now, but it absolutely started from them shooting at us first. It absolutely came from them spending a decade telling us that we were the problem, and now they're getting some of that back. It's not that your audience started out hating you. A lot of people love video games. A lot of people want the best for these companies. They dealt with this shit. They dealt with your game being broken. They dealt with you doing the day one patch. They dealt with the DLC. They weren't a fan of those practices, but they still put up with it because they loved video games. They wanted video games to succeed. And all you have done at every single fucking turn is tell us that we are the bad guys. When we continue to bankroll you, we are the reason you're a successful industry. We are the reason anybody wants to work in video games, is because they saw, ooh, money, look at this. This is a big industry I can be a part of. It's so baffling to me that they can go and accuse us of being the most hateful audience when it started off with an industry that was so up their own ass, and they had their little club of journalists, and they felt like they were better than the rest of us, and that their opinion was gospel, and that they were the most important people in the room. Their friends in indie, it was all about pushing their games and their little clubs and their nights out drinking and all of their conferences where they would just shit on us constantly. And they're surprised now that all of us are fed up with it after 10 plus fucking years. It's incredible, and I hate all of them.
I can tell you this. I know for everything that you said, there's a lot of accuracy in it. There was a direct pipeline. Now, look, I sold Screw Attack in 2013 or so. From 2013 to 2016, I pretty much had my head down. And I've talked about how I more or less just didn't pay attention to Gamergate the first time around. I was too busy like making content and trying to grow a business, right? But as my eyes were opened up to it more and more, it's been amazing to see, and the things that you just said about the little good boys club, right? People talk about that. There is a direct pipeline that goes from being game journalist directly into industry. And that is something that people do not talk about enough. Everybody who writes about video games ultimately wants to work in the industry. And I've seen countless examples of people who wrote for a Destructoid, a Kotaku, a Polygon, an IGN. Alanah Pearce is a great example, who started there. Eventually, you make a name for yourself online, you get a little publicity, and all of a sudden you get offered a job working in maybe PR, or maybe you come in as a low-level writer or something like that within the industry, because that is the ultimate goal. The funnel from game journalist to game industry is there. So you want to glaze everything. There's, if you talk bad, well, they're not going to offer you a job. Why would they offer you a job, right? So what you're talking about, there is definitely some truth there. And there is, both within the industry and within the journo space, there is contempt for the audience. There is contempt for the consumers and the customers that buy the games because, hey, we're the developers. We're the journalists. These idiots don't know what they're talking about. We
tell you what you like. We tell you what games are supposed to succeed. It's just, that's been their entire MO for as long as I can remember at this point, is they stand on a pedestal and they're like, I don't care that all of these guys are complaining about what we're saying because we know the truth. And it's like, you really, really don't.
It's just deflection for everything, the decisions and the design choices that they made that were incorrect, that led to something being an ultimate failure. Don't try and push Dragon Age Veilguard on the Dragon Age fans, because they're going to know exactly what the problems with that game were, and they're not going to buy it. They're under no obligation to buy your crap just because you have a job. And if you keep putting out crap, you're going to get less and less money, and some of you guys are going to need to get got. And they're getting got in real numbers now.
It upsets me too because criticism in the video game industry initially came from people actually wanting the games to improve, and I think that still exists here. And so they would take it so personally, and that's why they started hating us, is because we continually just wanted the medium to improve, and we were giving criticism to say, this game could be better if XYZ happened. And it's just like spiraled from there. And there's been this continual disconnect between the two groups, between the people that create it or report on it versus the people that buy the products, play them. Because we are very honest in what we care about. It's like a lot of us are just very passionate about the medium, about the art form, and we want the games to do well. We want them to succeed. We want to enjoy ourselves. It's our escapism. It's our fun. It's our whole lives. We get into debates about what superhero is better. Like, we get into debates about what's the best weapon to use in a video game. We really care about the fine details. And that's being receptive to that criticism is not for everyone. There's a lot of people who cannot handle that their art project at the end of the day is being torn apart in their eyes, when realistically the way that is coming across is that the fans just want the best thing possible, and they know that there's going to be a sequel, and they want that sequel to be even stronger. So it's just been interesting to see this very slow push from each other, and I will always stand by that they took the first shot, because you should be able to take some criticism from the people that are spending $100 on your game. You should be able to hear, hey, I wish you guys did this instead. And it 100% started very, very, very innocent. And there is obviously going to be people that are just heated at this point and are going to be aggressive and might come across too mean or whatever. And I don't think that we have to denounce those people. I honestly don't. I understand why people are at this point now where they are not crying over people losing their jobs. For me personally, I still feel this pain in my heart every time I see layoffs. I just can't help it. I understand that it's necessary, but I just really want video games to succeed so badly that I do feel a little bit of pain every time I see that, because I know that there's also veteran knowledge that's lost. It's not just the new people that get ejected. There's a lot of stuff that we're leaving because of all of this. So it's still painful, even if it's it's necessary, and they don't get that. They just think that we're the devil, Even Craig, you saw my tweet with Double Fine. I was like, I want Double Fine to survive, and Double Fine had blocked me. I wanted them to survive. I wanted Double Fine because I feel like between like the Day of the Devs and the things that like they've done for video games and the way that they promote projects within it and like they try to educate people within the industry and help them create games. I'm like, Double Fine, yes, you might not like their politics. I certainly don't. I don't agree with any of it. But they've done things for the video game industry that makes me want them to survive. And they have me blocked because I'm a bigot, right? So it's just incredible.
Just a horrible, horrible person. Okay. Speaking of horrible people, considering the source of this tweet, just want to point that out. This Rusty Buckets here. This is the guy, and he may be.
It's White Hassan.
He looks like a rusty bucket.
Well, he also may be a candidate for the WNBA, as he does primarily basketball content, but his pronouns are incorrect. He, him. He just wants to let you know that. He, him. Which is very important. By the way, he gets ratioed in this tweet, by the way. People just rolled down. Toby Turner to Buscus, of all people, coming in, and just apparently he's a pretty base dude. Tobuscus. Remember him from the internet back in the day? Kyle Wilson says, Anita did nothing wrong, huh? How do all the games with ugly women that talk about pronouns sell? Good? They sell good. Concord's still doing great. Veilguard won Game of the Year. Stellar Blade bombed, right? Yeah. Gaming and feminism and left politics doing just fine. That's right. Kyle, good dude over there. Well, I love that I can just say to you guys, Gamergate, and then it's like a nuclear bomb just goes off. It's just spectacular. I love that.
It was a very special time.
Order 66
I want to let you know that.
Kicks in.
Yeah.
I will definitely bring it up every single time you guys are on, because you guys as season vets, it's wonderful. All right, Blabs, we need to have that happy ending segment, but not today. We're going to go directly to today in video game history. You ready, Blabs? It's your time to shine!
Yeah.
Today in gaming history with Blabs.
Yeah, do it. Step on me, mommy.
Oh boy! Wow, unbelievable, Blabs.
Yeah,
All right.
sorry. You know, sometimes you just want some. Anyway, August 10th, everybody.
I'm
Breath
sorry.
of
Whoa.
Fire.
I'm sorry. Wait,
I'm
what?
messing around.
What?
Let's
You want
talk
some
shit.
what?
Dunkin'
Want some-
Donuts coffee.
Oh, my fault. Okay.
August 10th, everyone. Breath of Fire was released in Japan in 1994. You have Wario Blast featuring Bomberman was released back in 1994 in Japan. And then I went a whole Japanese route for K, by the way. Famicom Mini Super Mario Brothers 2 was released back in 2004 in Japan. See, ta-da!
She did it! She made a good list!
That is a
You
good
know, this
list.
happens quite often. It's just not when you're on because I like messing with you. But this one time I was like, I shall give you some pity. You're welcome.
Let me be happy for once. Thank you.
Did she make a good list today?
I did,
Because
absolutely.
some
Thank you.
noticeable games
Because
that she
Final
missed today.
Fantasy VII was.
That's right. I know.
So funny.
On August 10th, Shadow of the Ninja released for Japan 36 years ago. A very,
It should
very
just be
high
called
quality.
K's Shadow. Huh?
A very high quality Nintendo game. I'm just going to floss over that. Thank you.
I'll
if you
give her a
haven't
pass
yet,
on that one.
good, really good game right there. You mentioned Breath of Fire, Wario Blast featuring Bomberman. It's always a nice little crossover, as you mentioned.
Mario Golf.
Really?
Mario
really,
Golf
Mitsu?
Yeah, well, it had a transfer pack crossplay with not crossplay, but you could upload your characters to Mario Golf for the N64.
No. I stand by Blabs on this one.
Yeah, but did you stand by her when Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, the game, was released for the PlayStation 3 16 years ago, which was a phenomenal downloadable game for the PlayStation.
It is a very fun beat 'em up. I do really like Scott Pilgrim vs. the World.
Great music, too.
The game specifically, not the movie. But I still think you picked the right ones for the top three.
Yes,
Okay,
as usual,
we're not,
every day.
We're not
Thank
done
you.
yet. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Okay?
Mhm.
We're not done yet. Because some other noticeable games that you missed today, Blabs, include Fruit Ninja Connect. Remember Connect?
Yeah.
Yes.
I had this.
Average
Yeah.
Farm remembers.
I'm surprised you have a million of them. By the way, a little bit of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I'll show you that in just a second. Also, Lawn Mowing Simulator released 5 years ago, Blabs. I bet you love that.
You know, I think it's on my wish list, but I've never bought or played it.
See,
You should
this
pick
is
it
a
up.
very good game.
I've been playing Skyrim instead.
And today, Blabs, Madden NFL 27 is
not as
releasing.
revolutionary as the other one, so skippity skip.
Here's a little Scott Pilgrim vs. the World right here. It's a fun game. This is 16 years ago. This game is great. I love this game. This game was really fun.
And there's still a lot of digital rights.
Yeah,
this was taken down, and they had to come out with a remake or a remaster of it or something like that, like a year or two ago. But it was taken off of the PlayStation Store, and I think the Xbox Store as well.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I had another story about digital rights. We'll get to that tomorrow. Digital rights are a constant thing and a constant point of discussion, which will only continue. And maybe all you Dutch folks watching over in Deutschland will have something to say about it with that Stop Killing Games lawsuit that we announced earlier today.
He's retarded, right, Mitsu?
Extremely.
Yeah.
Do you want me to say why?
Yeah, go on. We both were like, fuck.
Aren't from Deutschland. Deutschland is
Dutch?
Germany.
Yeah.
Germany.
Deutschland is Germany. The Dutch are not German. Dutch are from
No. But I thought. Sorry, maybe I misunderstood that. I thought it was a German lawsuit. It's Dutch, just Dutch.
Netherlands.
Okay,
I think I just accept Craigisms at this point. So
yeah, like what's the deal? Like I am not a journalist at this point. I'm just an idiot who talks on.
Well, you can be actually.
If I get the gist of what he's talking about, like you're fine.
I just know that somewhere over on the other side of the world, some people can sue somebody
not
here
America
in America.
land.
That's
yeah,
right. That's
Americans should not be concerned with Europeans.
Can I get some eagles flying across the screen, please, Phoenix, just to bring you back home a little bit? I'd really appreciate that.
Yeah, I think I hear something. What's happening? Where did he go? Oh, there it is. There he is.
Oh, he's got. Watch out! He's got. Oh no, Phoenix! He's got the guns.
There it is. It's
okay. There he is. I feel so much more American right now. Thank God.
Repremiering. There it is.
Go away! Oh, there he goes. Thank you, Phoenix. Appreciate that. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better now. Jeez Louise.
What's the eagle's name?
Incredible.
Cacaw.
Yeah, cacaw.
All right, Blast, we got some supers we need to get to. But first, Tenarian came in with 5, says, I don't care what the platform, I go where physical games are. If they all go digital, I go retro. I'll be so pissed if Final Fantasy VII Revelation doesn't get a physical disc. Fun fact, the Final Fantasy VII remakes don't use Unreal 5. They use Unreal 4. Still look fantastic. Thank you, Tenarian. Always a pleasure to have you. All right, Blabs, going to you.
All right, Mac for 2 says, you know how good America is when someone like DSP is still able to get by? That's what we should always do. Put DSP on a scale and weigh it.
I'm quitting Pal World right now. I can't stand it. I'm quitting Pal World. You guys don't care about Pal World.
Commenter Fan for 2 says, the people complaining about Sony, in my honest opinion, usually don't seem to complain about Nintendo, who also locks 99.9% of their games to their hardware, and they're slowly getting rid of game cards. I'm just saying. Nathan for 5 says, I think the rumor is just pure Xbox fanboy cope. Even if it's true, campaign developed is showcased that they is showcased that they can't do it anymore. Sorry, I'm sleepy. Marlon for 10 says, I didn't buy Nintendo for their moves to go to digital. Argue all you want. It is their capitulation. If Xbox commits to staying physical, I'll actually buy their console again. Skipped on M. A Deep Fryer for 2 says, I've said this before, but I really think this whole disc thing is PlayStation's Don Matrick moment. The arrogance of it, the colossal fuck up, can't wait for Sony to fail. It's needed. Reese, for 1, says, it totally wasn't developers and journalists saying, bring back bullying. No siree, Bob.
They did say that.
Crowder and Lauder for 10 says, Gamergate was a bunch of whores dunking on gamers. These weird freaks deserve to lose their jobs. Put the fries in the bag already. Phoenix, can you please read that one real fast while I grab supers?
Sure. From Jarl Doom for 5. Imagine firing the first shot and then being shocked when put on bulletproof vests. Seriously. Get fucked. Would you like me to continue?
Yes, please.
Okay. I'm going to go for... Should I go from the top or the bottom there?
Top fine. Yeah,
the top.
Reese.
Okay.
There you go,
okay,
Reese.
Okay. Reese for 1. Going back to Fallout 76 as a Mountaineer, I really wanted Fallout 76 to be good, but it's just not. Make games we want to play and we'll play. It's not rocket science. Thank you very much. Okay. Going back to Fallout 76 as a... Oh, I think I already said that. Bentley Guy for 78. The pot is boiling. I'm sorry. Bentley Guy 78 says the pot is boiling and the main ingredients are narcissism and hypocrisy. Oh, Phoenix. Tell your heavy melanin laden brother happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Nathan Cassidy. These layoffs are a result of a bunch of activists picking a fight with internet autism and losing hard because you are not entitled to success in life. Thank you very much. Commodore Fan 64. I feel the corporate games media died the moment OGG4 went under and YouTube gave the common man a voice, and they still can't get over it. Fuck them. Let them rot in their own hate and fall on their asses.
Okay, real quick, because I have this conversation from time to time, and people's memory of G4 sometimes seem askew. So I just want to make sure, and I ask this to you guys in chat too. Did G4 start when they merged with Tech TV, or does everybody remember what G4 was fucking like when they first launched that goddamn network? Because it was so much better before the Tech TV merger, and I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, and nobody remembers what it was like back then. 100%. Please tell me I'm not crazy. Thank you.
You're not crazy.
You're not crazy.
In this case, yeah. They had so many good programs on that network. That was a brutality when they merged and eventually just went by the wayside.
Laguna Cloud for 5. We tell you what you like. We tell you what to buy. Almost like they are the experts, quote unquote. Professor Plaguebat for 10. I used to hang around Lurk 4chan leading up to GG and then left for 8chan once discussion was bannable. UX Knight 5 for 5. Open and welcoming community, and you subverted and colonized it and installed your own oppressive systematic system that discriminated and excluded the originals who started it. And Jarl Doom for 2. Play Powder's song on behalf of chat and myself! Exclamation mark. He means business. Gold Soul Ninja 64 for 10. Pal World will always be top tier. Mic drop. That's for you, Kay. You love Pal World, right?
I'm not actually a Pal World fan. I just was doing what DSP was doing, freaking out because they only made $40 playing it. But
it looks like your boy Phoenix is a goose today. I apologize.
I've played Pal World, but I haven't played it in like a year and a half plus.
Yeah. All right. I have not played it. Perhaps I shall. Commodore 64 for 2. Phoenix, can we get the Eagle holding a tricked out AR-15 with tactical gear? Now that's American. Commodore 64, I will get to it. And tomorrow we'll have all this new equipment on the Eagle, on Cacaw, if you will. And that appears to, it's not it. XJW as our pustules for 5, mentioning Gamergate. Slowly I turned step by step, inch by inch. I walked up to him and I smashed him. I hit him. I bonked him. I bopped him. I socked him. I mashed his face and I knocked him down, end quote. And now we are all caught up.
Yep, that's all I'm saying.
And the left side sloppers. Icing on these burns for the borderline hoppers. Based in fertile takes in this elf wife, elf life. Sisters and sisters bringing back the age of strife. I'm the friendly elf department, logical booming, winning both sides, got the black and white dooming. They say I love Trump when he didn't build my wall. What do you think I said? Sorry, I meant call me a racist, fascist, nationalist, grifter, bootlicking theocrat, literally Hitler, colonizer, Nazi, incel, bigot, white supremacist, privileged, idiot, snowflake, pick me, toxic, homophobe, hood troll, sexist, deplorable, xenophobe, shill, dog, whistling, transphobe, simp stan, alt-right, neocon, tyrant, yeah, and...
Damn.
Amazing.
Wow, that is phenomenal. Yeah.
And not just because there's a train there. I like it because the actual
God All right, great place to wrap up. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. Appreciate it. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button wherever you guys are watching. I encourage you guys, follow us over on Kick. Once again, next week I'm going to probably be extending the show, just doing a little Stutter and Craig show, maybe for an hour or so after we're done. And talk about some things that maybe we don't have an opportunity to hit on a day-to-day basis. So about this time, maybe making that transition, maybe starting next week is what we're looking at that. With that said, we are going to be re-premiering this tonight. So if you want to rejoin the evening audience, we'd love for you guys to tune in around 7 o'clock Central Time. I'll get this downloaded, queued up, and ready to go for this evening. Maybe even change the thumbnail. I guess we'll see. Maybe it'll be Kay over here running after a train. All right, we have this from Gold Soul Ninja. It says, catchy. Here's another 10. Well, thank you, Gold Soul Ninja. Appreciate your support. We really value that. All right, time to get out of here, guys. I encourage you to go check out Melee Games. Link is in the description. That's where you can find Kay and all of her chaos, along with the number 2, James, which is great. And obviously, Mitsu has a great article for you down in the description as well, where he talked about his experience on the Borderlands set of the movie, which remember that? That was a fun time. 2 weeks in Budapest.
It was a great movie, too. 2 weeks in Budapest.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. All right, we'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Time when we are joined by...
So, this is if everything is correct, because Gundam should be awake, but Tectone and Gundam, as long as Gundam is awake.
Okay, this could be a big one. Could be a big one tomorrow. Tectone and It's a Gundam joining for the first time.
Confirmed. Already talked to him this morning. Still waiting on that yes from Gundam, but when I talked to him on Friday, he said yes.
Okay. All right. A quick reminder, you can pick up tickets to Sin City. Link is in the description. Definitely encourage you guys to join us in Las Vegas, just about 6 weeks away. So should be a fun one. Yes. Look at in the chat. Chat's loving the idea of what we have going down tomorrow with Gundo. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Bloopity Snooples came in and says, can't have Kay on without calling her a Fuda. Goodbye, all. Wow.
Time to join the WNBA.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. Big show lined up. But until then, remember, people are going to try to keep it down. Don't let them. You guys got to go get it. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Fatality.
Anita Sarkeesian did nothing wrong.